unmute us.
Yeah, I've done it. Welcome, everybody.
We did it, Reddit.
Hi.
Welcome, Rody. Welcome back to tonight's episode of Roll Call Rebirth. We took a short hiatus as we swapped things around, and we lost a couple people, but we're here. And plus, we got to do Honey Heist last week, which was a hell of a lot of fun.
It was fucking awesome. That was so much fun.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
That was really heckin' fun. Oh, so the new layout. So,
I had a lot of fun too.
Shh. You'll be there next time. It'll be great. So yeah, I do have new layout. I'm trying this out. I'll see. So I kind of like the way it looks. I think obviously the black spaces are where your character portraits are going to go because your party does not have them yet. They're not there yet, but there will be little character portraits in that beautiful black circle there. But so if anybody has feedback on the layout, let me know. This is temporary anyways, because I'm going to move things around for once sponsors and things happen, which whatever. Get to that later. So yeah, but this is kind of what it looks like now. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right in. Oh, you know what? I lied. I did want to say I had some thanks from last time because some people were very kind and subscribed and rated and hosted and things, and I didn't get to thank them. So, Blue People 85, thank you for subscribing. BB Gaines, thank you for gifting subscriptions and also subscribing. Bad and Tilted gave 2 subscriptions, thank you again. Bree Lieb hosted. Cricky hosted, thank you. Team Trig also hosted. All you beautiful. Shake It gave us money, thank you. And that's SHAIKIT. Anyways, I just want to say thanks. There may have been other people I missed. Again, thank you for all the follows and things, but I just wanted to get that in before, because again, once we start, it is very difficult for me to acknowledge any of this stuff because we're role-playing, and yeah, that's mainly it. It's hard for me to manage a million different characters and maps and also stream and then also thank you guys. So, do any of you guys have any questions? Do you even remember, how much of a recap do I need to do? How much do you guys remember from last time?
Don't know where I live.
Okay, cool.
Hey, real quick. What's the tabletop password? It's going to be different?
It's capital this time.
Okay.
Capital.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's the same. So yeah. I'll give a quick recap. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask questions. But yeah, we for anybody who's now watching, this is the beginning of a new story arc. Hello. We finished up our last story arc, where we nearly accidentally wiped out the party. Well, I mean, it was kind of on purpose. That was kind of the point of the encounter. But now, if you're here fresh, thank you. Welcome in. Come on in. I don't think you're going to be too lost. It's Dungeons and Dragons. We're going on an adventure. Come in and have a good time. So, Starling, thank you for the host. All right, so last we left our heroes. Oh, I need to change that. See, little things. This is going to be happening all night, except I'm not going to be stopping anymore.
Right.
I'm just moving that to the front.
Just moving that layer up.
Yeah, just moving that layer up real quick. If anybody spots any other weird bugs like that, let me know and I'll fix it after. But all that aside, now assuming nothing else pops up and breaks my machine, I'm going to do a recap of the previous events. So, previously on Roll Call Rebirth, our party had all met up in the town of Sardinia, where they, for various reasons, came looking for one thing or another, whether it was adventure or a mysterious magic man, whether they were running from something or secrets yet untold. They ended up together working with a man. Well, actually, they were working for the mayor to help rid the town of a goblin problem. From there, they forged a little bit more friendship and frenemies amongst the group as things went on. Yeah, after they cleared out the goblins, they heard tell of a magic man matching the description that many of them were looking for. As they made their way into the Salda Forest, looking for said man, they ran into several interesting encounters, such as meeting a friendly unicorn. They eventually entered the Tower of Indalia, who's a very old and powerful magic lady, but not a man. Not who they were looking for. As they entered her tower, they discovered that it was overrun by cultists, who they then murdered and expelled along with their demon and devil friends. They made their way to the top of the tower to rescue Lady Indalia. Succeeded in doing so, nearly all dying in the effort. However, one thing that they noticed was that Murdoch, the leader of this cult, he wasn't there. But given how they fared against one of his underlings, probably a good thing. So as they cast this powerful caster off the top of the tower, saving Lady Andalia and clearing the rest of the tower of any influence of the cultists and demons, they all retreated to the Grove of the Unicorn to take a breather and relax, avoiding any other conflict that may or may not have been waiting for them. So you guys were playing it safe. You found yourselves in the grove. You all decided, in the safety of this Unicorn's Grove, that it was a wise decision to go ahead and take a nap. So you all did. At this point, you guys, if you haven't already marked off a long rest, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, at this point, you guys have been woken up by this. I mean, you don't know how long you've been sleeping. It could have been days. It could have only been an hour. But all you know is you wake up feeling completely rested. What are you guys doing?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Drugathiel, as you sit up and start taking count of those around you, you do notice somebody's missing. It looks as though Selena is no longer among you.
You guys,
Yeah.
where's Selena?
Probably over by the tree meditating, or I don't know. She's usually wandering off.
Maybe her horse ran away.
That's probably more likely. Oh yeah.
I think it was probably something more than that.
Yeah, I don't really see her.
Yeah.
Is the unicorn still here?
Roll me a perception check, real quick. Sam.
I rolled a 12. Hold on. 14.
14? Yeah, I mean, you look around. You see a small pad of grass where you know that Vita, the unicorn, was laying. You don't currently see her there, but as you look around, you do see Lady Andalia kind of standing, leaning against a small tree at the edge of the grove. But otherwise, the five of you, it's just the five of you guys.
I'm gonna go check on Lady Andalia.
Okay.
See if she knows what's going on. Anybody coming with me?
I'm gonna walk over to Clock.
How are you going to do
Clock.
that?
Aren't we
Clock
in the
is in the
grove?
tower.
You guys are in the
Clock.
Unicorn's Grove, not in the
Unicorns.
not in
the
the
other-
idyllic mystical floor that you found.
Multiple groves. Gotcha. I
Yes.
forgot.
Yeah, you were in the Unicorn Grove.
I have clock withdrawal, and I miss him.
I miss
That's fair.
Clock
That's
too.
fair.
He's still alive. I mean, so far.
Miss him.
Miss Clock, man. Good thing I have Gerald.
So, yeah, Bate, as you approach Lady Andalia, she kind of slowly turns to look back at you. I trust you are feeling better.
Yeah. Do you know where Selena is?
Yes, yes, she decided to part ways for now.
Part ways?
Yes, she had a mission, I think, that she didn't want to bother the rest of you with. In fact, and you see her kind of like, she left you this, and she hands you a note, which I'm actually going to play for you guys now. I'm going to put it, if you guys want to listen, which you probably will, I'm dropping it into the Discord. If it will fit, let me see. That was
There's
good.
a note.
What?
What? Yeah, there's a note. Oh, you know what? Let me send it to you. This should have been, I should have checked this before, but I didn't want you guys to cheat and listen. I'm going to play it for the stream. One sec.
Can I just listen on the stream?
Yeah, you guys listen to the stream real quick. That might be the easiest way to do it. to just be quiet. So yeah, she hands you this note and you unfurl it.
To you all, this was the only way that I could bring myself to do this. Thank you all. For years I've worked alone, unable to trust people, and you have all helped me embrace being part of a team. I have gone, so don't try and come after me, because you will not find me. A lot has gone on in my life that you don't know, and I just can't put it off any longer, especially with us moving further and further away from where I need to be. There's something that I need to do that most of you would not agree with, and I would never forgive myself if any of you got tangled into it. I pray Teth be on our side, that after I succeed in my quest, we meet again. Stay safe, and think of me when you kill. Selena.
So, with that, you kind of close the note back up, realizing Selena apparently left and really doesn't want to be followed, but you still don't know to where. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm still just sitting there.
Was
Sam
this
is the only one who's read the note.
I'm the only one who's read the note.
So far?
Okay, I'm going to hand it to them. Then I'm just gonna take a walk.
Okay. Can't hear you, Ty.
You're muted.
I'll read it next.
Okay. I mean, you guys
Can you read it out loud?
Yes, I'll read it out loud for everybody.
She left.
What?
She left, and she's not coming back. And she doesn't want us to follow her.
Just like that. She's what?
Sometimes
She's just
that happens.
gone
Yeah.
Gone.
and just
Why
left a note. Didn't
Yep.
even say it to our faces.
Nothing. Left while we were sleeping.
Damn it.
Well, that's really weird. Do you think it was something I said?
Probably.
My character just starts crying hysterically. She's like, bye. I liked her. She's nice. She's helpful.
I'm just gonna walk off and start to pray. One, that Selena is safe in her travels, and two, that I don't have to think of her very often as I kill, and that she doesn't have to kill too often to find what she needs.
Okay. Very good. So, Lady Indalia kind of makes her way over to the tree where most of you had been gathered. I know it can be hard when someone moves on, but I've been in her place before, and I know it is not easy to let go. If there's anything I can do that can help you all now, I should very much like to do so. I very much appreciate the daring rescue. I've never been on the other end of one of those, so it was a really interesting treat.
Treat's not the word that comes to mind, but at least we all came out of it okay.
Yes, I think you're very lucky to have done so. Many of you seem to have come very close to crossing that line.
Yeah, some closer than others.
Indeed.
But this isn't over.
Well, no, it's certainly not for me. You all have a choice, of course. You can carry on as young adventurers, or you can take up maybe the greater call and, well, do some real good in this world.
Well, I'm team good. After seeing what happened in that tower and what they're capable of, I think that's something that we need to stop.
I agree. There's only so much that I can do myself now that my power's waning, but I do hope that I can help you all to some extent, give you guidance where you need it, and perhaps be a helping hand whenever you're near. Do you have a...
Appreciate it if you could tell me anything you know about me, please. About my past, about who I am.
Sure. So you remember nothing?
I remember Selena finding me in a haystack, and then I had flashes. I had flashes of what they were doing to me, but I don't know exactly what it was.
Well, the men there, they saw something inside of you, and they were seeking to cultivate it, as it were. I don't know if there are more like you, and I don't know how you got the way you are, but there is an evil inside you that is not of yourself, so I pray that you don't feel bad about it. But when I first met you, you were certainly not in control. However, when I gave you that, and she kind of reaches out and touches the crystal that's currently hanging around your neck, she says, I gave it to you seeing that there was also a seed of light in you as well. One that felt very familiar to me, but that I have not seen in a long time. And, well,
So if I take this necklace off, what will happen?
Nothing would happen immediately, but I think that the light in the necklace resonated with the goodness inside you. And I think at this point, since you have, well, she kind of looks at it as the crystal itself is now kind of dull, where it was kind of glowing and bright before. She says, I think the crystal itself now must feed off of you for a while. But I think it is what allowed you to break free originally, but you seem to be well in control now. I still would hold on to that, as it is very precious. If you should wish to get rid of it, please give it back to me.
I'm just curious what it does.
Well, it can do a great many things, if you know.
It saved my life. So I would like to fix it if I can, after what I've taken from it.
I think then that maybe keeping it close to your heart will be the easiest way to do so. Give it time. Continue to be the good person that you are. And I think that you will see it return to its previous state. What are the rest of you doing right now, by the way?
I was just going to say, this is a great time for me to roll back in, having sort of completed my prayers.
Okay.
I'm consoling Dragathiel because I'm also in a mood.
Crying.
Okay.
And there's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you don't know anything of me before, or besides these men, or...
No. When I met you, you were already, well, like I said, you weren't being the you that you are now, and I'm glad to see that that has changed.
You can tell me how I was. I won't I won't be offended at my behavior. I know I'm not that now, but I would like to be prepared for what could possibly be in my past if it comes again.
Okay, well, there is no denying that you were significantly stronger then. So I realize that may be a temptation in the future to reach back for that in times of need. But if you do, I think you might not find yourself again. You were much crueler, and I didn't see that you cared for anyone. When Murdoch spoke with you in front of me, it wasn't necessarily as a subordinate, but almost as a sister. And, well, I don't know. I think there's a long path ahead, and I fear what may lie in store for you, but I pray that you're strong enough to face it, because you're the only one who can.
Thank you for the information.
She kind of gives you a nod.
Can we talk Murdoch for a second, Indalia?
Of course.
You seem to know a lot about him, and I'm not sure that you know anything about what he's doing or where he's going, but I just spent a lot of time thinking about life and death and who is entitled to it, and well, I think I'd like to kill that guy.
I think there may be no other option anymore.
I think you're right.
When I was teaching him years ago, he was a very talented pupil, but the man that I knew is long gone. However, if he could be saved, that would be preferable, but I cannot think of a way to do so. The darkness inside him has grown too strong. As far as where he may be going, I couldn't tell you. The last I saw him was here. I had not seen him for years before that, after we had an argument. I can only assume that he is also responsible for the trouble that's going on in the Boreal Vale to the north, but I have no concrete proof.
That's the best lead that we have.
Can you tell me what your argument was about?
Well, it was about the wells themselves. He argued that I was drawing upon them to sustain myself, which admittedly is in my own self-interest. He wanted to use them for other purposes, claimed that perhaps we could use them to do much good in the world, but I've tried that before. It does not always go as intended. And he sought out to find power for himself, and it seems that he has, though I sense his motivations have quite changed. If it's quite all right, I should like for us to at least return to the tower for a moment. I have grown very tired, and even though we've rested here, I've had a long past few weeks.
I can see that. Thank you for everything you've done to help us.
Of course, and thank you again. I expect the world would be in a much worse state very soon, had you all not intervened.
I suspect it's gonna that possibility is still on the table.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think so. And what is even more unfortunate, at this point, Vita, by the way, has stepped back into the grove. And she kind of puts her hand on Vita and begins kind of like stroking her mane. Says, unfortunately, I don't know that any of you are yet ready to face the threats that may lay before you. I cannot stop you, but well, I don't know. Let us walk and talk. And she kind of like pats Vita and climbs onto her back as they begin heading out of the grove back in the direction of Indalia's tower.
I don't know about you guys, but near as I can tell, not being ready to face a challenge is our specialty. So
Yeah, because we totally didn't have any issues with that last battle.
made it against all odds, unfamiliar territory against unfamiliar opponents.
But is it going to be that way every time? And we have less people with us now. I don't know if that's... I don't know.
It's always the risk.
I'm
It's the
thinking
risk you
best-
took when you set out on this path. There's nothing that you can accomplish that's not worth that risk, right? Like there's nothing that's worth anything that doesn't have some risk involved. Do you think the world is going to throw the fame and glory that you desperately clearly want at your feet for standing around being pretty?
I think the best course of action at this point would be to get as much information as we can and then make a decision on what we want to do.
Absolutely. But I know what I want to do. I'd like to know how I'm going to do it, but I know what I'm going to do. We're going to find this Murdoch one way or another. And whether we do it ourselves, or we find other people who are better and stronger and have them lead the way, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how we do it, just matters that it gets done.
Considering he was talking to me as a sister, I'm thinking I could be a valuable asset in that aspect if I went in. Once we find him, I can go and try and get as much information as I can, pretending not to know what happened. I don't know how I'd get out because we don't know where he is, but that might be a viable option once we get wherever we're going.
Lady Indalia kind of leans back over and looks over her shoulder. She says, I also am sorry, but I couldn't help but notice you all, several of you are still cursed. I don't mean to give you any direction and tell you what to do, but I think perhaps not fighting each other in the middle of life or death situations is probably a desirable. She kind of looks back at you, Dragathiel. Well, you take my meaning, but I think perhaps maybe that should be your first course of action. Do what you can to prepare. Do what you can to rid yourself of curses.
How do you suppose we go about getting rid of these curses?
Well, again, I normally would be happy to help. And perhaps if you were to wait a week or two, I may yet regain the strength to do so. That is
a bit of a slow timeline.
Otherwise, you perhaps... she looks at you, Ness. She says, your people, if you are not yet in tune enough, your people in the church may be able to help, or... Well, there are many people who can help with curses. It just depends on the nature and the strength of the curse.
Well, I do think that maybe that should be something we take care of soon, yeah. But also, first things first, Mercy, I'm really sorry, but I got boogers in your long hanky.
Hey, let's.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
Just retract that part. It'll disappear. You'll be fine.
I do exactly that.
The boogers still look like they're there. It's weird.
Right. Oh,
Might need a bit of a washing.
the booger sustained.
Fine. It's okay.
I could, with the right preparation. I'd suspected that just from some of the strange behaviors I saw that perhaps a curse or some other malady was involved, and with the right preparation, I could separate you from whatever it is that's causing your, let's say, erratic behavior. But I there's no guarantee that that it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, you'd
If
have
you-
to.
Hmm.
They'd have to let you.
Debatable.
Hey, you're magic. I'm down to see if it works.
About this time.
Holy water or
Roll me. You know what? Yeah, Dragathiel, roll me a religion check. We'll call it. Oh, wait. Actually, religion or arcana for this one, whichever is higher for you.
okay. Well, they're the same at 0, so 14.
You know that holy water has many uses. Perhaps very minor curses can be removed with it, but most curses are a bit more of a potent magic than what holy water could remove generally.
I just meant to like aid in his proceedings, but good
Gotcha.
to know.
Good to know. All right. Yeah, at this point, you guys kind of now approach the clearing where Indalia's tower is currently standing. As you guys look around, I mean, the kind of dense, thick, brambledy, dark forest that you guys passed through has now kind of livened back up a bit. Things have begun to show their greenery and begun to flower a bit more. You do get the sense that were Indalia and Vita not with you, you still might have a hard time passing through here on your own or finding it ever again without guidance, but the corruption that was surrounding it does appear to have been largely dissipated at this point. And as you guys kind of approach the tower here, Tortang is like, let me check something. And he kind of like, he walks over to where around to the back of the tower, you see him go, checks the dead body of, is he,
Oh.
he kind of like pulls back the hood. He's like, yep, that's the guy. That's the one that exploded my friends. So,
Wait, we found him?
yeah, he's dead.
So you're revenge?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Wait, so are you leaving?
I mean, maybe when we get back to town, I'm okay for now.
Oh.
I'm glad you got that closure.
Yeah.
5!
roll me an insight check, the three of you guys. So Dragathiel, Ness, and Ty, Tigger, Mercy.
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Wow.
16.
5.
Okay. So the two of you, you get the sense he's pretty sure, but also human faces look very similar to him. Might not be the guy, but he seems pleased with it.
Closure is closure.
Closure is great.
So
Shall we?
yeah. As you guys then enter the first floor of the tower with the dead body with the slit throat from Selena is still sitting on the couch. Clock kind of is like, oh, it's so good to see you all. I was worried, and this dead man has been here, and it's very gross inside
Clock, do
here.
you have a sense of smell?
Thankfully, no.
Huh.
Good for you.
Yes. Yes, I
I'm
very
not.
much. Well, I'm sure if I really focused, I could maybe... No, I can't smell.
I don't think it works that way, Clock. I'm sorry.
Well, I like to pretend
But
that I can smell. So,
In this case, you're not missing much.
well, that is good. I have heard that bodies don't smell great after time, and also people soil themselves often when they die.
Yep, they surely do.
He kind of then at this point he looks at Indalia, says, "My lady, how are you doing?" "Well, I'm less than perfect, Clock. I'm less than perfect." He says, "Yes, I notice. Did you purposefully? Some of the floors have disappeared. Yes, that was. I'm having a hard time sustaining myself and all of the tower and. Well, let's not talk of that now. But I shall speak with you after. He just kind of like gives her like a strange like look. He seems a little concerned, being that he is part of the tower. So, what are you guys doing?
Lady Adalia, I'm sure that you have a lot to attend to, and I am not perfectly in the business of waiting around, and I certainly don't want to take up too much more of your time. I'm glad that we've been able to retake your tower for you, and that hopefully you can regain your strength and resume your oversight of this beautiful place that you call home. If there's anything that we can do for you before we go, or that you maybe could do for us to help us along our way before we depart, we'd be more than willing to help or take your help, as the case may be.
Well, I can impart knowledge as best I can. Well, she kind of like fumbles around. She's like, if you give me a moment. And she like is looking in her pocket. She's like, no, wait here. And you see her kind of go up to Clock. She see her like mess with his buttons and boop his nose, and she disappears, leaving you guys alone for a few minutes. So she's apparently gone off to look for something, leaving the five of you kind of alone in the chamber with the dead body.
Clock, I'm really gonna miss you.
Oh well, I'm going to miss you as well, and I will always remember and cherish our adventure, and please do come and visit.
I don't know if Lady Andalia tells you enough, but you're pretty awesome, Clock.
Oh, well,
We couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, thank you.
I know you said you always wanted to be an adventurer, and I think you fulfilled that and then some.
I have. After all that, I think I've had my fill of adventuring. I think it's time for this old Clock to retire, and, well, the bad guys better hope that I never have to dust off my old... You see him, like, dust off his hand, his face in his hands. But, I appreciate the kind words, and I do hope that we can all meet again. But, what are you doing now? You just hang out here, and there's lots of space.
True.
No, I think we're gonna have to go, Clock. The men who did this to Andalia's tower and to her, the man really is still out there, and we can't wait idly by. Unfortunately, Andalia is too drained and too weak to venture out on her own, as I'm sure you know. So, fortunately, the responsibility has to fall on someone, and it falls on us.
Ah, the life of a hero. So noble. As if I could write books, I would write a book.
Maybe you should. I'm sure Andalia could take dictation.
Do you think she would... I should have to speak to her about that. That would be most enjoyable.
I think it'd be a great use of both of your time.
So I shall have to speak to her about that. After you have gone, and I've had time to compose myself, I shall inquire, as my next great adventure may be as one of an author's, and I may write great many tales of our adventures. I think I shall.
Brain getting warm and fuzzy. Aww.
At this point, Andalia kind of steps back into the room. She says, "All right, this I made these long ago. I don't know how useful it would be or how reliable they are anymore. But she kind of hands you a kind of small blue. It almost looks like one of those flat glass beads, but it's a little bigger. It says, you see there are two. One is bound to me, and you all may take one with you, and perhaps if you are in need, you may call on me, and I can provide you with what wisdom that I can, and hopefully your adventure goes smoothly and you don't need me. You don't need this old person, but if you should ever need, please feel free to call, and assuming the damned old things still work like they used to almost 1,000 years ago, then I shall answer.
Thank you.
She kind of hands it over to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
Oh, and Dahlia, I wanted to ask you, one of the things we took from the chest was this little crystal-y orb thing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's cursed. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if you want to keep it. I don't know if we should take it with us. If it's bad news, or if it won't help us, or if you want it.
As she kind of like picks it up and like turns it over in her hands as you kind of hand it over to her, she looks. I am not entirely sure. It looks a bit like an old luck stone that I used to have, but it's not exactly the same. Unfortunately, I can't decipher too much more right now, but
But it's probably not cursed.
You pulled it from the chest, yes?
Yes.
Then I would say it's best to assume all of the things are cursed until you know otherwise.
Good to know. Thank you.
But I cannot say for sure.
Okay.
And Dahlia, on the topic of curses,
Yes.
hypothetically, could the weapons talk to a user?
Well, weapons do not have to be cursed to talk to you. It is certainly possible. Why do you ask?
It's just something I noticed when we rested after our battle. I can't tell, and it could just be my overactive imagination, especially in the wake of that fight. It felt like I couldn't tell if it was a dream or if the weapon was talking to me. I know that it's cursed, though I very much love the weapon. Just have a slight fear that maybe there's something more there than just metal.
It is very possible, and that is certainly an ill portent to have a cursed object speaking to you, if that is indeed what happened. I suggest you especially should look into getting that fixed sooner rather than later.
Okay. Thank you. I think I will.
Of course. If there's, I do have a great deal of rations and basic supplies if you all are in need of anything. Unfortunately, I have had to begin downsizing the tower, as my life force can no longer support it in the way that it has been. But I should like to help however I can. So,
Thank you.
if there's anything that you would like before you go that might be useful, I'd be happy to oblige.
Dahlia, it's not that far to town. I think we can make it without taking from your stores. You've been through enough.
Well, then, if that is all you...
Is there anything else
Okay.
we can do to help you?
Well, if you come across... She kind of looks, she's like, you wouldn't mind taking that body and throwing it outside. I wouldn't hurt.
I could probably blast it for you outside.
I would be most appreciative. The others just don't worry about for now. Some of them are on floors that no longer exist, and the others I'll just have to incinerate at some point in the future. I'll take them down to the apothecary.
Okay. I'm gonna pull Ness aside real quick.
Okay.
Ness,
Yes.
I know we haven't identified this, and I know you didn't take it because you didn't want to steal from Indalia. Clearly she said to take it. I don't know what it is, but if you want it, it's yours.
Appreciate that. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it from you.
Okay. I'll put that in your possession shortly. Okay. So, at this point, you guys having been questioning Indalia, you guys just taking the body outside and leaving? What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna drag the body out and try to Eldritch Blast it. I mean, I'll roll, but who knows? I'll probably roll.
We could, Pate. Bury it is also a choice, rather than desecrating a corpse of a man who was killed in cold blood.
Last thing Indalia would want are scattered body parts around the grounds of her tower.
I mean, I don't know if it would scatter. I'd think more incinerate, like ashes to ashes. But
I think if I have the choice between taking that chance and not at all taking that chance,
well, if y'all want to dig, that's fine.
I'll dig.
I'll dig.
Okay. You guys are just going to. Do you have? Do any of you have shovels in your inventory?
No. Almost certainly not.
I didn't think so.
I mean, if it's at point blank, I'm pretty sure I will incinerate him.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can it says that it can take whatever form I choose. Spiritual weapon, would a shovel be considered an option?
You could use spiritual weapon to
had
make a
thought
large
that.
shovel. Like Green Lantern style, sure. I'll allow
Right.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could build a pyre instead. You don't want.
I
me
think
to
maybe a
blast
pyre is an option.
A pyre is good.
Sure.
And that way you can light something on fire and get that satisfaction too.
Well, I was thinking more of a rock pyre. I
Something
think.
like
We're in a forest.
Yeah.
You might have noticed there's a lot of wood around.
Glad we
We could-
found
we
the
could use
most
that.
interesting thing for us to argue about this game.
How to fucking incinerate this guy's body?
How to make a pie.
body. Sorry, that was out of character.
For reference, I mean, do any of you guys have you don't have any flame cantrips or anything? Was Selena the only one that?
I might let me look.
Because
real quick.
you could, I would allow you to incinerate it that way. And to be clear, Eldritch Blast is a more, it's like an energy force spell. So
it's not fire.
so
I
it's
thought
not
it was
fire.
a fiery. Oh, okay,
No.
sorry.
Yeah,
My
you would
mistake.
No, it's
blow
okay.
him up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I thought it was a fire thing. I thought it was like a
when
magic.
that whale that beach that they tried to scatter with dynamite.
yeah, that's kind of what would happen, probably.
That's kind of what we're looking at.
I don't. I don't have.
No, I don't either. I have radiant stuff, but that's different as well.
chop it up into little
I
pieces.
so I.
Oh, guys! I have the wand of a firebolt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's got 7
I-
charges.
Would you guys like to just spend a little time making a makeshift or rudimentary pyre and cremating this guy's body, and then
Yes.
we can move on, because I feel like we could spend
Are
a
we gonna-
lot of time talking
No,
about
let's go
this.
this-
Are we gonna
I have a
actually
torch.
cremate him?
I have a torch.
Do you have flint and tinder with
I have
which to light
I
it?
have a tinder box.
I was just gonna say, if we're not gonna actually cremate him, then I'm gonna cast something on him first.
I mean, you guys have ways to dig holes or whatever you want to do. That's up to you guys. Just go ahead and decide.
I'm gonna start gathering wood.
Right.
Okay.
Can we just
I'm gonna go ahead and.
This is like the least important thing we're gonna do tonight. Is how we
I'm
dispose
gonna
of this
drag
body.
the body
Right?
out. I'm dragging this dude out.
But for safety's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and cast a ceremony on him called Funeral Rite. So I'm gonna touch his corpse, and for the next 7 days, he can't become undead by any means.
Okay. Very good.
For safety.
Neato.
As you kind of lean down and give him a prayer. To the god that you chose and remember the name of, right?
Who
It's
must not be
written
named.
somewhere.
Man, you so much could have had you so much could have gotten a DM advantage if you had remembered that and did your prayer thing.
I know, right?
So I believe you chose Tyr, but we'll double check.
I think I would have remembered that.
Let me check.
I don't think that's what I chose.
Because I'm gonna check and I'm gonna tell you right now, so we have it on
Yeah,
video,
I'm
so that you're.
curious. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that
Random.
because I feel like I don't know. I guess that character was talked a lot about. That character's come up a lot in my day, actually. To be
Tyrn?
fair. Oh no, that's not what you said. That's not what
Oh,
I
did
heard.
I may have said it wrong. To be perfectly honest, Tyr. Yeah, Tyr. Would probably who you chose. The guy, because you which paladin path did you choose?
Conquest.
Yeah,
I
that would
still-
make sense then.
I still have the dark red magic potion.
Yeah,
me
I gotta remove that from your inventory. She has that.
Let me remove that.
Yeah, go ahead and remove that.
And I'll remove one of the magic tomes too.
Where does it even say that, by the way?
Say what?
Like
Who
who
you
I
worship?
chose?
You'll
yeah.
need to
You
put
have
that
to
in your
know it.
notes. Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to know it and put it in your notes.
Mm.
But it's Tyrn. Tyrn.
Not to be confused with Tyr.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
sorry.
that's definitely what I heard.
Sorry, yeah, Tyr being a real
And I was
actual.
like, I would have remembered that.
Yes.
You don't want
Alright,
to confuse it with
got
Pai
it.
Tai either.
Like,
So anyway, while she's thinking about what prayer she's going to say to her god, we've collected firewood and we're super duper ready to fucking set that guy alight and
dragged
move
the
on
body
with our
out.
day.
Yep, drag the body out, put him on top of all that fire.
Alright.
Good job, boys. Let's stand aside while I use this wand of fire bolts.
Yep, you very quickly light it on fire. The guy's body catches, and you guys decide that there's time better spent than watching his body burn, and you walk away. So
let's go.
now heading back out of the clearing there, Vita approaches. Says, "Would you like an escort out of the forest?"
Please.
She kind of gives you a nod. Were your horses were they important?
They were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
We had a very, very strongly worded argument about them.
I see.
Any chance they're still alive?
I'm really most concerned about the cart.
So the horses are definitely alive. But I think at this point, you guys, having been away several days, they may have wandered out of the forest. Sorry. But
Not your fault.
other than that, yes, I'm happy to take you to the location of your cart. I doubt it has moved without horses.
Noted.
Something I would doubt as well.
I suspect you're right.
All right, so you
If we need
guys.
something to pull the cart, I can take care of that. We should just find it first.
Okay. Yeah, you guys. I mean, she takes you back to the location, the clearing with the small waterfall where you guys had previously camped. Your cart's there. None of the horses. Selena's horse is gone. Just appears to be a cart.
Well, that's money I'm never getting back.
Well, do you want your cart?
How are we going to how you said that earlier and I assumed this was just another one of those things that you say because you think you're bigger and stronger than you are. But
I
if you
am
actually
bigger and stronger than I am.
But, well, between the two of us, maybe we could pull the cart.
Nah. And then I just cast Find Steed, and there's a giant, beautiful Belgian horse spirit animal there to pull the cart.
I see.
I like her.
I was looking forward to Tortang pulling
She
us in the
got
cart,
that
but
useful magic.
Yeah, you guys see essentially like Final Fantasy summon style as like a like horse kind of runs down from the sky. in
Really
front of-
dramatic music and the playing in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Belgian. It's a Shire. It's Merida's horse from Brave. That's what I've decided.
As this kind of ethereal glowing horse appears in front of you guys.
Dragathiel, how I'm not familiar with this magic. Does it go away?
Yeah, but we can get everybody get in. Go fast.
Let's go. I'm in the
Okay.
cart. I'd hop in.
Go fast.
Ben.
You guys,
I'm in.
Fast.
you guys take a second to quickly get the horse attached to the cart, and you guys been making your way back towards town. How long does that spell last?
A whole 10 minutes. Go fast.
Oh God.
What's the horse's movement speed?
It doesn't have a movement speed.
Is it a cantrip?
Oh, because it's a horse. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Because it's a horse. It has its own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
all the different stuff will have different.
that's right. I figured you would. So
Can
Yeah.
you cast it at will as many times a day as you want? Or can you cast it
Yeah,
like
right.
twice?
we'll say it has 60 feet of movement speed. It'll probably be closer to 40 while it's pulling a cart full of people. Yeah, you guys travel for 10 minutes, make it past the waterfall, back through the forest a little bit as the trail begins to widen up a bit, and then the horse kind of like the cart slows for a second as like and then the all the gear flops to the ground
Oh
as the
God.
horse disappears and you guys grind to a halt.
It was fun while it lasted.
That was anticlimactic.
All right,
Don't
Tortang.
worry, everyone. I've got the solution.
What if it was an elk?
Would it be an elk for longer than 10 minutes before vanishing?
No,
off
but
into
it
the
might go
ether?
further.
What if it was a magic giant eagle that could fly us to the top of a mountain and save us hours and hours and hours of tedious bill?
Actually,
I mean,
how big of a giant could
can I
you
make a
summon?
griffin?
How big of a giant could you summon, right? Right? Just each step is a mile? 10 minutes?
So
Picks
Vita
us up and throws us.
Just pick us up
Can
and
we-
take us for a little walk.
Vita, who has been walking alongside you guys this whole time, she says, so that was awkward.
You're telling me
I can maybe,
Sweetie, you.
if you are all very, very careful and respectful, I might can acquire some help if you will give me a few minutes.
Of course.
She kind of disappears off
Fantastic. Thank you.
into the edge of the forest.
Embarrassed us in front of the unicorn, Dragathiel.
Respectful? Wait. What do we have to be? I thought we were pretty respectful. She said if we're respectful. I wonder if she's
Yes,
getting more
so-
unicorns.
Be polite.
Yeah. I mean,
I would just say probably most of us shouldn't say anything at all, except for thank you.
resent that.
I mean that.
You can resent it all you want, but I think it's an excellent plan.
I think unicorns are gonna come pull apart, guys.
What?
I
Sorry.
think unicorns are gonna come and pull the cart.
So
And they are not like horses. They are like magical beings. And
They're-
What, my
Yeah.
magical Fey Shire wasn't enough for you?
I mean, it was fantastic
Are
for that
we
10
in
minutes.
town?
Well, no.
It was
I just
So
mean
no, it is
magical
literally
wise,
not
not
good enough for us and our needs.
magic wise, not.
No, I just mean magic beings that are not beasts of burden. That maybe that's what she meant by respect.
You think? Yeah.
as you guys are having this argument, Vita, about 5 minutes later or so, exits the forest with what appear to be two giant stags behind her, both with very large rax antlers, and they kind of step out and they kind of like give you guys like a look like over. She says, perhaps if you could give them a little bow, they would feel a little more.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, it's
And
a pleasure.
they kind of slowly, like holding their heads very high and proud, step up to the front of your cart, awaiting you guys to saddle them with with the gear to pull it.
Absolutely.
Toad's going down to try and do that. And
Okay. Yeah, you guys get them saddled up and you kind of get them. It's kind of a weird fit, but they seem to be certainly able to pull it. These stags stand much taller. Like they're like Bambi's dad, king of the forest type large stags. And as you kind of get them settled up and the cart begins moving at a very smooth pace, you guys are on your way back towards town. Vita, walking beside you, says, I think you should be good from here, but if you ever should visit the forest again, well, you may or you may not see me. But it has been a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thank you so much
so
for
much.
everything, Vita.
She kind of gives you a nod and then disappears back into the forest there. These large stags begin pulling you out of the forest, and as you guys are going along the path, you actually run across another cart of people who like what? Like looking at these large woodland creatures pulling your cart. Like, what? Where'd you get those?
They're majestic and wonderful.
What? Oh.
Bye.
you get pat like 2 ships. Keep going. And it takes several hours. The greater part of the day, as the sun begins waning in the skies, you guys now approach the edge of Sardinia. The gate coming up. Sun going down. What are you guys doing?
I would like to address the stags. I'm assuming that they can understand me, but gentlemen, absolutely appreciate you taking us to town and taking this cart. I don't want to waste any more of your time or disrespect you in such a way, so I can lead us directly to the owner of this cart, and then we can go our separate way. And of course will escort you to the edge of town so that none of the hunters or locals around here harass you or mistreat you.
Is there anything we can do to repay your kindness?
They just stare at you. And
The stags.
do either of you have anybody have speak with animals? Because you're not going to be able to understand otherwise.
I mean, one of the spells I was thinking about doing was speak any language.
Wouldn't apply in this instance.
Wouldn't apply? Okay, then
No.
I'm not.
Just gonna give him a deep bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
gonna
kind
bow
of
to-
nod their heads as you remove the gear from them, and they begin kind of walking towards the forest there. At this
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
it kind of coming out from the gate from town, you see Grinder begin walking up. He says, "Ah, some beautiful beast you have there. I notice it's been a few days. Were you all successful in your fun whatever you were doing?"
I would say we were pretty successful.
We made it happen. I'm still watching the stags to make sure they're not disturbed on their walk back to the forest.
They kind of stop and look at Grinder for a second, and they just kind of give him like a little curt nod, and he gives them one, and they continue walking. Says, I've been here a long time, and while I'm a hunter, I try to be as respectful of the forest as I can. So, why don't we all go have a drink? You guys look tired.
Oh, that drink sounds so good. Right this second, yes.
Me too.
At this point, though, the cart now sitting motionless
Sorry.
outside the gate of town.
Grinder, got a cart problem. I'd very much like to get my deposit back. If you know any way that we could get this back at least into the walls so that it's not harassed until the morning when we can solve this, it would be much appreciated.
Is it a 10-minute trip?
It
may well be.
could be. It
may
could be
well
done.
be.
It could be done in 10 minutes. Grinder kind of looks at it. He's like, well, you could go rent a horse and then pull it into town.
Trigathio, since you and I both, our magic works much the same, I suspect. If it's not too much to ask,
Uh-oh.
would you mind calling your steed to bring the cart the rest of the way?
What a simple task. I go ahead and do
Oh, interesting.
my spell again for steed. For
Okay.
find steed.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Same thing. Same sort of horse. Got it. Same sort of horse that's coming down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys see a similar sort of effect as this horse now makes its way up to where it was before. You guys hook it up, and within 10 minutes or so, you guys do manage to make your way back to where you rented the cart from, just in time as the cart pulls up to where it needs to be, where you had previously picked it up with horses attached to it, and then poof, the steed disappears. Steed disappears as the cart kind of like flops, the gear but flops back down to the ground, kind of. A guy comes out and says, "Oh, hello. I assume you're the ones. I didn't take your order before. I'm sorry. But we had horses show back up. And we thought you all had perhaps died, as there was no cart or people. But
Reasonable.
I assume this is the errant cart.
It is.
Well, very good. Give me a moment." He kind of like goes and digs around through his notes. He says, "All right, here's Mr. Nessicle. Nessicle.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Here you go. Here's your deposit back." And he kind of hands you back over your gold. He says, well. He says that's not the most opportune place to have a cart, but I appreciate the return, and I'm glad that you're all alive.
If we could have put it in a more opportune place, I assure you we would have.
Of course. He just kind of gives you a curt nod and begins. He goes and grabs a horse, now having to just like hook up a horse to drag it like 50 feet.
Thank you for your time. Out of here. Before he asks too many more questions, get all our gear out. Get the hell out of here.
All right. Yeah. At this point, Grinder's kind of like, "All right, you'll have to tell me all about your adventure. That was a couple days you were gone."
Feels longer.
It feels longer. Yeah, it's back in my days as an adventurer, I remember feeling much the same. He kind of see him look wistfully off into the air. Yeah, but perhaps we talk about that over some drinks. Let's head back to the tavern.
Grinder, quickly, is there any shrine or temple to the forest or the goddess of the forest here in town?
You're speaking of Neela?
Neela, yes.
We have maybe a small I don't even know if I'd call it a shrine, but we do have a small place of prayer dedicated to her near the hunting lodge especially. We pray to her and her children there, but if you should like to see it, I can take you there.
Absolutely. Just briefly, and then I'll meet you guys at whatever establishment we choose.
Okay. Very good. So, you guys, the rest of you, you're heading straight to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. So you guys make your way to the tavern. At this point, the sun is just barely peeking over as it's kind of becoming twilight. You got that yellowish orange hue in the air. And not only that, but the wind appears to be blowing a little bit cooler than before. It's certainly still fall, like mid-fall, but it does seems like winter is just wanting to push its way in weirdly right now. But as you guys make your way to the... Go ahead.
I was going to say we should probably find somewhere to stay for the night before we hit up the tavern, before it's too late.
The
You can
tavern...
stay at the tavern.
Yeah, the tavern will have rooms as well.
Okay.
If you need to stay there. But there are other... If you prefer to stay somewhere else, you certainly can do so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The tavern will be fine.
Okay. Very good. So yeah, you guys make your way back to the tavern. And it's much as you left it. Like, people drinking, some already passed out early. But people are in good spirits. You see people swapping hunting stories and showing off different skins and things kind of as they talk across tables and beer, and then the fire and the hearth in the back is kind of roaring. But it appears to be largely unchanged, as though even though a lot has changed for you all, things in Sardinia appear to continue much as normal.
Isn't it weird them going about their evening not knowing what could have happened?
It's all anyone can do.
It just feels weird. I need a drink. I don't know about
Me
you
too.
guys. This round's on me.
All right.
As you guys kind of like pull up at the bar, wave the bartender down to get a few drinks, Aaron kind of plops down beside you guys. Says, "It's good to see all of you guys. How'd your quest go?
Well, it was a rough one,
Ongoing.
but I mean, we escaped with our lives, and I guess that's a success, right?
I consider that a success every day. If you all are interested, I've been rooting out a few more goblins. If you're looking to make any more coin, you can always hit me up. Can always use some good hands.
Thank you, Aaron.
He says, this round's on me. As he kind of like buys a round of drinks and passes it down for you guys. Meanwhile, with Ness, Grinder takes you into the hunting lodge. And kind of, as you go in, everybody's like, Grinder! Like, everybody's like raising their drinks to him and spilling things everywhere. He leads you kind of to a back room. It's one of the few rooms in this place that actually has windows. But it's largely empty other than just a very small effigy. It's very, very plain.
Sure.
There's a couple wreaths hung on it, as well as you see below it 2 smaller figures, which you can only assume to be Neela's children. And underneath them, there appear to be a few offering plates. One has a few different flowers and fruits, which you can assume to be what was harvested, and another one has just what appears to be a small pelt of a creature. But yeah, at this point, he says, "Well, I'll leave you to your prayers."
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm not going to waste too much time on this, but I'm going to use I have a block of incense. I'm going to light a little bit of incense and say a prayer of thanks, and half of whatever the deposit was for the cart, I'm going to leave as an offering.
Okay, very good.
Just in thanks for the creatures of the forest doing us a solid, and then head into the tavern.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. You've been doing a good job role playing. Go ahead and take if you don't have a DM inspiration, you should go ahead and add one to your character sheet there.
Do you still from like the first session that I never used.
Yeah.
I always forget to use.
Well, you've got one, so
Thank you.
So, you take a few minutes to say your prayers, leave your offering. Yeah. You make your way back to the tavern. Grinder in tow behind you. You see your friends sitting at the bar with Aaron. What are you guys doing?
Aaron, it's good to see you again.
Ah, and you as well. I hear you guys had quite an adventure.
It was something that probably defies words, honestly. But adventure, I suppose, is one word for it. What do you know about the Boreal Veil?
I haven't been there in a few months, at least. It's definitely changed from what I've heard. Not for the better. I don't know, the residents there, they don't like letting us in often anyways, unless you're pretty well connected a lot of the times, but now they don't seem to be wanting to let anybody in, except for the King's Road that cuts through to the northern tip of the continent. What do you want to know?
What is it?
Oh, so you guys would have heard of the Boreal Veil. The Boreal Veil is not only, it's probably the largest single forest in all of Ascendia. But not only that, it's also the home to the Valaran, the wood elves that live there. And it is very large. It is a very large forest, and everybody at least knows that much about it. But if you want to know anything else, you'll either need to ask or roll for it.
Okay. So the Valaran wood elves, they're the residents he was just talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So usually people in conversation would just refer to it as the Veil, or Valaran, or one of the two, depending on how how comfortable they are using the Elven word for it.
So,
Go ahead.
You said it's changed. In what way?
Well, now he kind of like leans down and you guys says, "Now this is only a rumor, but they say kind of at the east end where the forest begins to meet the mountains. The darkness has been spreading there, a miasma, as it were. Now, I don't know much more than that, other than I've heard people speak of strange creatures and people not coming back out of the woods. Now, I don't know. Again, that could all just be hearsay. But it's not somewhere I'm really looking to go right now. If I had a choice, I'm okay with killing goblins myself. Make a good living doing that.
Sure. Respectable work, to be sure.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
I like to think so.
Apologies if our questions come across as simple. And for many of us, this is really our first time out in the country, if you will, and there's so many new things to discover that apparently mostly want to kill us. So,
yeah, the world isn't what it was when I was a boy. That's for sure. I'm sure
the world is exactly the same as it was when I was a boy. Just the colors are different.
He kind of gives you like a close look. Says, "Well, I feel sorry for you. Then I hope you see brighter days ahead. But certainly for me, there's a lot more darkness than there. Or maybe it's the nostalgia of childhood that's speaking to me. But certainly, I remember things being easier, people being happier, and a lot less people dying."
Yeah. If there's a darkness coming, then hopefully the light of Yua will pierce through it and guide our way.
Yeah,
Or my swords.
He looks to the both of you and says, "I'll drink to that," and you see him kind of like knock back his drink and like tap the bar for another round. Yeah, but he's I'm happy to give you any information that I can, but
Ooh.
he kind of leans down, looking past everybody at you. Yes.
Hi. You know anybody good at breaking curses?
I'm not close personal friends with anybody, but did you? I know the Church of Yua in Lucina might be able to help you.
I've got it covered, Drag. Don't.
Okay. And then I just chug more of my drink.
Aaron, if we were to go to the Boreal Vale, what's the best way to get there?
Well, do you want to get there fast, or do you want to... There's many ways to get there. It depends on how fast or how safe you want to get there.
It's a good question, team. That's our...
Let's consider all of our options. We know that the corruption in the forest here was caused by Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it's likely that Murdoch has gone to the Vale. We know that there's now corruption towards the mountains, which may mean that he's in the Vale. It may mean that he's in the mountains. They don't want to let us in, except for perhaps on some kind of official business or some such, or just through the road. But sooner or later, we're going to need to get up there, and we're going to stop him. Now, Indali was very clear that maybe that was a little out of our league. So I think rushing headlong into a fight with Murdoch when an ancient demigoddess tells us maybe that we should hold our horses is not the greatest idea. Perhaps we should instead consider trying to speak to the masters of the Vale.
I would agree.
I would vote for safe rather than fast.
Safe rather than fast. Okay.
Well, why don't we focus on getting rid of the curses first?
I'll be able to do that with a rest tonight. In the morning, I'll be able to take care of at least one. Assuming you're all willing and able to part with your
what I'm
cherished
worried
possession.
about.
What?
That's what I'm worried
As
about.
he says that, the both of you kind of like instinctively kind of reach and like pull your weapon closer to yourselves without noticing it.
Do I notice it?
Mhm.
I have very high passive perception now,
What is your passive perception?
like 16.
Then yes. You notice as they both kind of like, while they're still looking down at their drinks, they reach their hands across to like kind of grasp the hilt and the haft of each of their weapons.
Sure.
Do I notice? Because I've noticed Mercy do it before.
I would say as you kind of follow Nessa's gaze, you see them kind of like, they don't appear to even have noticed it as they're going about drinking still. But you do.
That's not something that I would worry too much about, guys. The curse, as frustrating as it is for really more for us than for you, is not something that I think will concern us for too much longer.
I send a mind bullet to Ness. Let me know if you want my help with this discreetly. That's all.
I say we
Another round.
celebrate. Exactly. We have had a long couple of days, and we can get lost in all of the things that could have been or should have been, but here we are, arrived together, safe and
Not
sound,
dead.
intact, not dead.
Almost dead, but not dead.
Yeah, very good. As you guys say that and begin drinking throughout the rest of the night, I assume you guys are going to stay in the tavern. Okay.
Yarp.
So for all of your drinks and for your room for the night, let me see math. How much are you guys
Nest
drinking?
does not
for
drink. Nest does not drink.
Nest
so
does not drink. Okay.
Nest does not drink.
Then for you, just staying in the room for one night, it's 2 gold pieces. So it'll be 2 gold pieces for the rest of you. How much are the rest of you drinking?
Bete is drinking.
Okay.
He's
These-
drinking.
3
Bete is drinking.
Drinking.
Let's
Yes.
just go ahead and make it 4 gold for the rest of you if you want to mark that out of your inventory.
Okay.
And for anybody who is curious, just as a reminder, that's probably a little on the cheap side depending on how much you drank, because I generally treat a silver piece as $1 and then a gold piece as $10. That's just how I kind of estimate my economy. It's easier that way. So, go ahead and all of you take 4 gold out of your inventory.
Yep.
You all
Go to equipment. Up towards the top of the equipment menu, it'll say currency.
Yes.
Click on it, and you'll have an add remove option.
Yeah. So with that, you guys all drink, kind of reminisce over the last bit of your adventure and how you all came together. And you all retire up to your beds for the evening.
I'm gonna stay back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like just not drink anymore. Just, I guess, nursing my last drink.
And I'm
Okay.
sorry, you said remove 4 gold, right?
Yes, ma'am. 4 gold.
Thank you.
So Mercy, what are you doing?
Exactly that. Just nursing my drink. I'm just staring at it
Okay.
at the bar.
As your friends
later.
kind of slowly
I'm
trickle off.
pounding them back.
Yeah.
Pounding them back.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw,
Oh, God.
Bate.
I didn't
God
mean it
damn!
like
Oh
that.
God damn it!
I can't drink without consequence. This is ridiculous.
Consequences.
Right? I mean, like,
This is a fantasy world. I thought.
I am fine right now.
I'm
I'm fine. I'm fine. You guys.
Be the DM, but you're not my supervisor.
roll me a Constitution saving throw, Bate.
It was a 3.
Oh
Wait,
boy.
Constitution gets 1, so 4.
So, as you were saying, I'm fine. Her like you, everybody else at this point, I assume, having returned to the room, you see her to your right, Mercy, as she just like thunks face down on the counter, passed out, begins snoring rather loudly.
I put back the rest of my last drink and I kind of hoist her up onto my shoulder and see if I can guide her to the room.
Yeah, without too much trouble, you manage to kind of like lift her up and drag her to a room. As you kind of lay her down into bed, she doesn't move at all. She is out.
Good friend.
She's out hard. What are you doing now?
Did Aaron McIntyre leave the bar?
Would you like to have caught him before he did?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll say that as you took your friend upstairs, you could you'd ask him for a moment after you take her upstairs. You return down, and he's kind of getting ready to go to bed himself, but he's waited up for you.
Aaron, I just have one question for you.
And,
Hypothetically,
yeah.
these Valaran wood elves. You said that they're pretty stingy with who they allow into the Boreal Vale.
Well, correct. They there's a bit of tension between them and Listoria, and well, a little. There's always been tension between them and the dwarves of Asneldur, but everybody knows that. But the trade that used to be so regular between them and Listoria has taken it's taken a bit of a cut lately, or so I've heard. And they're letting people through the road to make it through the forest, but they seem to be very carefully watching their borders right now.
And do you think this is related to the darkness that's encroached on their space, or do you think this could be something else?
I can only assume so. No, I don't know if that means they've got things under control, or they're too embarrassed to admit that things are far beyond their capabilities. It's difficult to say.
If we needed to get into the Boreal Vale, we would have to obviously go through the Valaran Wood Elves to get through it. If they're watching their border, is it worth approaching them to see if we can convince them to let us through? Or is this something we need to be a little bit more covert?
I'm not a political man, but if I were trying to get in without getting ousted forcibly, I would try to go through the proper channels, I suppose. It might not hurt. Though where that is, I couldn't tell you. You may need to make your way there, and you can inquire either from one of the surrounding villages, or maybe you could talk to somebody in White Rock in Listoria, the capital there. I think they probably still have communications there. I don't know if I'm sure communications lines are still open. I don't know how hard it'll be to talk to somebody, but I mean, you've got a lot of avenues. It just depends on which one you want to pursue.
Got it. Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you so much, and thank you for your generosity. We have a very unique group of people.
I can tell.
But we went through something pretty scary out there, and just it's nice to return to normalcy in some capacity. So thank you for making it easier on us.
Of course. And he kind of stops you for a second. And I noticed you're a little more mellow than before. Are you okay?
Define okay.
Well, I noticed there's somebody not with you, and I don't know what happened to her, but well, I've in my day, I will say that's why I've taken up the line of work that I have. It's a little less hazardous than your typical adventure can be sometimes. I lost a lot of friends doing the same sort of thing. I used to, in my younger days, I was quite the adventurer. Thought I was gonna rule the world one day, be on top of it. Everybody'd know my name. A few people do. A few still speak of me in other towns, but well, sometimes the cost isn't worth it.
Do you find yourself more fulfilled now?
I find myself losing less people. I find myself I'm not wondering where I'm going to sleep every day. I don't know. There's always a certain allure to adventuring, but well, I don't know. I took one too many hits, and I decided to relax and try and live a life that's a little simpler.
Well, I have a newfound respect for that path. So
I understand. If you're ever around again, I may not be here, but I make my way around. Hopefully, if I don't see you all tomorrow, I hope that one day we might meet again. We can grab a drink and catch up.
Likewise, Aaron. I very much would like that. Thank you.
He gives you a nod and gives you like a pat on the shoulder, then kind of turns and leaves.
I'm gonna head up to bed.
Okay. Very good. So, you guys all going to sleep? Okay.
Yeah.
I done passed out.
Okay. Yep, you guys, you turn in for the evening, and yeah, and Bate passed out, unable to awake even if she wanted to. You guys sleep through the evening in an actual bed instead of the forest floor. And it feels good. It's a nice change. It's definitely not the same comforting, warm environment that the Grove was, but being back in a bed feels really good. As the sun comes up, you guys awaken in the morning, fully refreshed. Whole list of possibilities in front of you that the DM is not railroading you onto, so I cannot possibly prepare for it, and I'm really scared. What are you guys doing?
I have a question. I have a clarifying question.
Okay.
So if remove curse. I'm just gonna talk about it so that everybody knows kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Remove curse is at your touch. All curses affecting a creature or object end. Casting time is 1 action. So could I cast this and touch someone without them knowing that I did it?
I asked this question.
She did actually.
Yeah.
So the way that would work, so it doesn't remove the curse from the item, so it would still be there.
Right, but it removes the attunement, right?
It would remove the attunement, so they would no longer, depending on the type of curse, which you don't know which these are yet, but depending on the type of curse, most simple curses would just fall off the person, and it may take them a minute to realize that they were acting erratically or strangely, or that there's been a change, but they will know eventually. Especially when they go to use their weapon and don't feel that attunement to it and are now less effective with it.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, you could just walk up and is it just an instant? Is it instantaneous?
Duration is instantaneous. Casting time is 1 action.
Okay. Then yeah, you could just walk up, place a hand on them, and they probably wouldn't know what was going on until it was too late. That wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's basically how it works.
But you'd have to get the item away from them before they could reattune to it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say correct. That's not gonna stop them from reattuning and being cursed again.
How long does it take to attune to something?
Like 10 minutes, right?
A little longer than that. Like basically, it would be done over a short rest.
Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, I could do that too.
You could.
That's the one I.
Yeah, you guys can try and do whatever you want.
That's a very operative word there. Try. Yeah. So, because that's sort of was my plan. Like first thing in the morning, just sort of like we all kind of reconvene, and as I walk up to Mercy, I just want to do like a "How did you sleep?" and cast the spell as I sort of touch him to remove the curse from him and separate that attunement.
Roll me a perception check.
Me?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. This will just be Arcana.
Yeah. And do I know that do I see him doing this?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can see him. Yeah, I mean, he puts his hand on him. It's obvious.
Like,
you don't know if he's casting a
but
spell.
Okay, so I don't know he's casting the spell.
No, there's really no way to tell.
There's no way to feel it if I'm not like paying attention.
11.
Yeah, as you go and try to cast this spell on him, you feel it weirdly push back. It doesn't appear to be working.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you expend your spell slot for that.
Yeah.
But it does not appear to have worked. As you begin to try casting it, you immediately feel just something push back against it.
Okay. So, Mercy, how did you sleep? And I kind of feel this and take my hand away, like,
What sleep?
what sleep?
I mean, it was nice to lay down. It was nice to be in a bed, you know. It was a nice change of pace.
So
Go ahead. Sorry.
so Ty,
Yes.
the first night, Mercy just remembers like vague words. You're not sure if it was real or not. Last night was a little different. You've had dreams of somebody that you as Mercy don't remember. But you started remembering all the terrible things they did to you. And how it's very important that you remove them from the face of this earth with this sword. But outside of that, you didn't get a whole lot last night. Just weird dreams about somebody you don't remember, but you remember them doing bad things to you, you think.
Ness, can I be honest with you?
Always.
Look, I know a lot has happened. And I know you're thinking I have every reason to feel this way, but not only have I been having trouble sleeping, it's the why that's causing, like, it's got me confused.
It's the sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ixnay on the Ordway.
How did you
I don't-
know?
I don't mean, and I'm sorry, I should have been more forthright with you, but my greeting this morning wasn't just to be friendly. My greeting this morning was an attempt also to remove what I think rightly I felt was the curse that sword carries. And despite my strongest magics, the curse is stronger. There's something insidious about that sword.
Well, that lines up with what I can only call dreams or visions or feelings. Like, it started with just words, just voices, and it was hard to make out, you know, and I chalked it up to the traumatic experiences that we've had. But last night was different. It felt more real. It felt dangerous. But the scariest thing was I felt like I had to kill. I had to do something. There was somebody, and I can't remember who, but they needed to be destroyed. And I'm not that type of person, Ness. I'm not a destroyer. I don't know.
I can't help but feel that somebody who would place such a potent and dangerous curse on something like that was not operating from a place of goodness in their heart. And I feel that wherever this may lead you is a path of ruin.
Yeah.
But it is, for better or for worse, your choice to make. You can come with me to the temple and we can see if perhaps somebody whose magics are stronger than mine can address this. Or you can see where this road leads you, but I don't see good things.
Can I hear this?
I mean, you guys aren't whispering
I'm
this.
trying to be discreet
Okay.
about it. No.
Okay, then yeah, you overhear the conversation.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not an evil curse. Maybe the sword wants us to do something. Maybe
Kill. It sounds like.
Yes, but kill who and why?
Bete, I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, if there's anybody here with an inner evil, we found out that it could possibly be you. So I'm hesitant to listen to your opinion on this, because if it is leading me down a more nefarious path, I don't know if that's something you can judge. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't know.
Whether the killing is justified or not, the fact that somebody would affect some random passersby to get some kind of solace or vengeance through death is it can't be anything good. It
I'm
may
inclined
not
to
be
believe it.
evil, but I certainly wouldn't say it walks the path of righteousness.
And I feel like and that's logical, and I'm inclined to believe you, but I don't. It felt so right though, and it felt good. Like it was purposeful. It was a purpose I was given. So I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide.
Perhaps it is fate. Perhaps it is destiny. But you have a choice.
Well,
And it's not a choice you have to make today or even tomorrow. But we're here and we're in town. And I worry if it's disrupting your sleep and if it's making you look and feel the way that you do, the effect that it may have on you down the road.
you're right. You're right. We just saw a lot of destruction in a very short amount of time. And whether it's a purpose or not, that's not a purpose I want a piece of. If it means I can at least learn something about what this may mean, I want to give it a shot. I think maybe we can visit your shrine.
But will
There
you
is
be
another
able
way.
to even go there? Will the curse even allow you to walk?
There is another way, Mercy. We could go and find an arcane wizard who can tell us more about the object, perhaps even the curse placed on it, the significance and effect of it, and perhaps that would inform your decision.
Do you think that's something we'd be able to locate?
You guys know that Lucina, being the I'm sorry. Oops. Let me pull up my map. I want to double check myself before I wreck myself on my own stream. So you guys are in Lucina right now. The capital is, it's like half a day's ride away. And you know that there's pretty much just about everything there as far as like cities go. Like there are not many that compare.
Wait, where are you
With
talking
the-
about? I'm sorry.
So
The capital city of
Yeah.
the region that we're in.
Yeah.
It's Aurora, right?
Aurora?
Aurora.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
That's
that's where you're from.
That's where we
Aurora,
met.
The Silver City. It's not far, and as you acquired a lot of your gear there, Mercy, you know that they have just about everything there. Whereas small towns like the one you're in now, they might have a blacksmith, they might have
Right.
like a smaller, wizard or two and hanging around, but most of the people, most of the enchanters, most of the large church people, I mean, just most of those sort of people, they're going to be in the larger cities.
Despite my charge and my purpose, and despite some of the more unsavory elements of the city, it is just half a day's ride away. And I know that we could all probably use a little more civilization and a bit of downtime to refresh our supplies and maybe see friends and family. Perhaps a visit to the Silver City is not out of order, both to identify some of the objects that we've acquired and to take a little time to breathe. I feel like it's only been a week and I'm missing home more and more. And before long, chances are pretty good that it'll be longer than a week before I get to see it again.
That's fair.
I don't know what the rest of you think. I know we all have a lot in our heads right now.
Yeah, not me. I'm glad you guys have a plan of action, but I'm gonna go be a wanderer again because that's a lot of fun when people aren't trying to kill you.
I can respect that.
That's fair.
He hands you guys back the remaining stone. He's like, I don't think there's a lot of good to me by myself, so here you go. So Dragathiel, he'll hand it to you and let you put it in your inventory. You guys see his Tortang stands up. He's like, all right, well, see you around. And he just kind of walks out of the tavern.
Well, all right.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
What?
He seems to have he killed the wizard he was looking for. That killed his friends, and now he seems to be going
Got
back
revenge.
to. Yeah, he got his revenge, or thinks he did.
He's not
Yes.
looking for anything else. We all have a lot to find.
I have a love-hate relationship with Aurora, but it's going to solve this sword issue, and it's going to get us prepared and recharged for, I'm assuming, our next trip to the Boreal Vale. We probably should. We should probably go.
What do you say, guys?
Is it pretty?
It is
Fine.
very pretty.
Hearts
Not
fit.
in.
I don't know where I live. I'm looking for a new place. Let's go.
All right. So you guys finish up with breakfast that is provided for you this morning. Are you guys just taking a walk, or are you gonna
Looking
ride?
forward to rent some horses.
I could pitch in for that.
Okay. And it's not too expensive. People do this fairly often, going between Aurora and Sardinia. So it's fairly easy. You guys, or do you want one for each of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just mark off another 2 gold. It's a pretty short ride.
I'm too big to share.
Yeah, you guys can, you basically will pick up your horses here and drop them at a stable, a corresponding stable, once you reach the gates of Aurora. So,
All right. Gotta be real quick.
sure. So, just,
I gotta pee. I'll be back.
gotta be, wait, we can take a 5-minute break if you guys want.
Yeah, same though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go to the bathroom.
I'm trying to start. I want to start doing that. I want to start doing 5-minute
Yeah.
breaks in before that. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break for everybody to go pee. Let me put up my fancy
Cats.
be right back screen, and we'll be right back. 5 minutes.
now.
Church Jean! They're holy.
And we're back. Let me see if there's anything because I'm gonna try and do like just a short 5-minute break each session now, just to break it up, and also because I'll probably have announcements and giveaways and things that we're gonna start doing.
Yeah, neat.
So let's see. Thank you guys for the host. Oh, I didn't ever say Safety Joe. Thank you for resubscribing. Starling, thank you for the host. Jessica Jane, thank you for the host. Mert, thank you for that 5 months of subscription. For 5. Geeky Hoodie, thank you for that follow. And Johnny B 187, thank you guys for the follow. So
Johnny be good.
with that, we're gonna hop right back in. So you guys have rented horses. Just go to mark 2 gold off for the horses. For each of you. So you got horses, you got your gear, you've eaten breakfast. Sun's high in the sky.
Off we go.
What are you guys doing?
Off
Okay.
we go.
Okay.
Right? I'm gonna look for an opportunity to talk to Mercy discreetly.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I just didn't know if you guys are just like straight galloping to get to the city. What kind of pace are you guys traveling at?
Relaxed. I
Okay.
would imagine.
Or at a bit of a canter.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
And you said it's like the weather's kind of nice. I mean, it's like we're edging to like winter, but it's
Yeah, it feels unseasonably cool. It's not cold yet, but it's certainly gotten cooler. But it's clear. You look back at the forest, as some of the fall colors are definitely on all of the non-evergreen trees. But they still have their leaves at this point in the season. But yeah, as you guys are riding in, Bate, you can Mercy, you can fall back for a moment.
Mhm.
I just something you said last night just really rubbed me the wrong way, or not last night, this morning, when you said that you thought because I was evil I couldn't understand, or I wasn't making sound judgment. I mean, I just want you to know I really am just trying to help you as best I can, and in my eyes, I feel like even with my memory loss, I've overcome some significant evil.
You're right.
And I don't know, it just really bothered me because I don't want anyone to have that perception of me. I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you about it because I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean,
and I've seen the way that sword affects you. I've seen you in battle. I've seen you trying to go to sleep. I don't know why, but I feel like I understand. It's hard to explain, but I feel like I understand something pulling you in another direction that you know you don't want to go in, but you're still going.
I mean, I tell you, I apologize. What I said, I didn't mean it in offense, and in fact, I don't know if I meant it at all. I just don't even know I don't know what's originally my feelings anymore, or what's starting to become what I feel like the sword wants. But
I know I haven't known you that long, but I also, in the short time I knew you before you had that sword, that's not something you would have said.
Noted. Yeah, I feel changed, but hey, I'm scared. I feel like our group has been carrying on this last day, or as if we didn't just pull out of one of the most tragic, terrifying experiences that at least I know I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
and like, I mean, look at us. Look what we're doing. We just had slept in an inn and then hopped on some horses to go into town and do some shopping. And honestly, maybe that level of normalcy is what we need as a group, but
I'm not.
I just am confused now. I just don't know how. I don't know what's my feelings as a fighter and as a human, as like a friend. I don't know if it's the sword guiding me or just a fear of what has happened and it happening again. But I mean, I apologize. I do. And in truth, I don't know if there's real much meaning behind it. I'm just hesitant. I don't know.
I want to test something, but I don't want to do it alone. I want to take this necklace off and see what I feel. And I don't want whatever's in me to take over. I know your sword only affects you, and I know as long as I don't try to insult it or your use of it, we should be okay. And I want to help you figure out what to do with your sword. But I also want your help testing this necklace, if you wouldn't mind. I feel like we're all just going. And Selena left us, and I can't believe she left a note. She promised to help me, and I promised to help her, and she just left a note. I didn't have anyone until I found you guys, until she found me, and then we found you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. And I know we're all dealing with our own issues right now. But I feel closest to you out of everyone. And I needed to talk to someone. And at the same time, I was so upset at what you said.
Yeah, I mean, I just the things I said, I know what it's like to just leave. Trust me, I know what it's like. And you think that that's maybe the easiest way, that kind of just cutting it off and moving on is the best way. And what people always forget is like the wake of sadness that's left behind. And
it's easiest for them.
Yeah, it's and I see it in a very selfish way. And I mean, obviously, I wish no harm or I wish nothing but success for Selena, but if I ever see her, I don't know. I just don't understand how somebody like that, especially from the amount of information I've learned about her and her past and what she's gone through, I was surprised.
She swore to help me. She found me in a haystack with no memory, and I can't help feeling I'm right back where I started, and
Well, look at it this way. If you're right back where you started, then it means you're starting fresh, starting new.
Again, it's the same thing. I
It's
don't
not
know
the
who I
same
am.
thing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I know exactly who you
I don't
are.
even know where we're going.
Bate, I know exactly who you are.
Do you? Because
Yes.
you said
You're Bate,
that I was evil.
And you were with me, and you're with Nessicle, and you're with Dragathiel. All right? That's what you are. That's what you are right now. So it's not the same. It's different this time. Okay? And I apologize for what I said last night. And maybe it is just chalking it up to the sword, being insulted by insinuating maybe the sword is not good for me. And because in truth, I feel like it is great for me. I feel a sense of purpose that I haven't felt surge through my body ever. So if I'm going to, I probably, like, I want to latch onto that. But at the same time, I mean, seeing what's occurred and talking with Indalia and seeing what's happened to Dragathiel. I mean, I have my reserves and I need to figure it out. And I don't need to be personally offensive, but
I need you. I need you. You're the closest thing I have in this world, and I've known you for less than a week, right? I know the sword has a pull on you. I know it does. And I want to help you. And I want you to help yourself. But I need you to know that I need you. And I'm sorry to put that on top of you with everything else. But you're all that I have right now.
Well, I'm here for you. And I'm not going anywhere. And I know you don't know a lot of where I came from, but in a lot of similar ways, you're all I got too. So,
thank you.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you. I needed that. I did. I just had to talk to you. It was like eating me. It was eating me alive.
Well, I appreciate you being honest and talking to me. I know it's easier to sometimes let those things fester. So I too needed it. So thank you.
I want to punch Selena in the face right now.
Well, we can
punch her right in the face.
We can punch her when we see her.
Maybe in the shoulder.
In the horse?
Oh, we're not gonna hurt the horse. I mean, maybe we'll just hide the horse to mess with her.
Dragathiel and Ness, you guys doing anything while they've hung back? Just awkwardly riding in silence.
I'm just
I'm probably humming to myself and then being like, wow, that's a pretty tree. Look, there might be a bunny over there. This land is pretty. Do you think the other place is going to be prettier? I'm just observing everything. Like, I have no idea.
And it is very pretty.
They're even talking.
So at this point, you guys are basically in a large plain. The road is kind of coming up over the edge of the cresting a very large hill as you guys are riding your horses. To what Mercy and Ness both know to be where you're very close to, at least close enough to see it. I mean, at the distance from far away from where you were in Saldini, you could maybe, on a really clear day, see like the tips of the roof and some of the things like that. But as you guys crest this hill and the sun is still in the sky, but you've spent a little past midday. So Aurora is situated in the plains of Arden, which is where you guys are now. It's pretty easily visible from a distance, especially from once you guys crest this hill. It's like even from far away, the way the sun is hitting it right now, like as you guys crest the hill, there's just sparkles dancing over the tops of many of the rooftops of the city from where you are. But even from this distance, it's clear where it got the name of Silver City.
Ooh. Beautiful. Ness, this is where you live? It's so shiny.
not all so shiny. But
Pretty
yes.
sparkly from here.
Yeah, it would be. The highest parts are where the richest live, and that's what you're seeing.
Well, it's kind of like how it is where I'm from.
As he points this out, you guys look, and it does appear to be very nice. There's these seemingly impossibly tall spires of towers just kind of like jutting up from around the cities. Most of them all appear to be gleaming with that same silvery light. Roll me perception check, Dragathiel.
Okay. A natural 20.
Nice.
Yeah, as you take a look, not only are there just gleaming silver towers, on some of the taller spires, some of these taller towers, you also see glints of color, almost like just dots of rainbow kind of appearing. They appear to have some sort of something else on the biggest ones. You don't know if they're, at least you don't know if they're related to families or what, but certain towers seem to be more significant than others, for sure. But it's a very colorful and bright, shining and kind of sparkly spectacle from far away. As you
Does
guys,
everybody else see the pretty colors?
depends on if it,
All of
I've
the
seen them a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen them a lot.
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, Mercy's probably noticed them as Ness pointed them out as they headed towards Sardinia. And now that you've seen it, it's, you know, you've kind of pointed it out, and Bate, you noticed this as well. It's a very, very pretty sight. And as you think about it, you're like, man, this would have taken a lot of time and a lot of probably money to build this giant kind of towering city in the middle of these plains here. I mean, they don't need to be that tall. There's nothing other than the plains to see. So it seems to have been largely done from a like a lofty, look what we can do kind of thing. There may have been some benefit for the people up in the tallest towers to see the plains around and get a view, but other than that, it does seem to have been largely done as a spectacle.
Most of the sunlight that I'm used to seeing was reflected off those towers. They're so big and so opulent that they, at certain times of the day, even though the sun is right there, you can't see it. All you get is glimmers, an idea of the sun more than the real thing. It's a lot less impressive for the people on the bottom than it is for the people on the top, I can tell you that. If you ever felt like you owed someone else for a glimpse of the sun, you probably wouldn't be so happy to see it again.
So
Really, that's how you felt?
That's how I still feel.
Wow.
yeah, and as you guys now have begun coming down this hill, as you grow closer, you begin to realize that the walls that surround the city are also unusually tall. They appeared small from far away, as they were dwarfed by the size of the structures they encircle. As you glance around, you see that in the sky there also seems to be small formations of flying creatures circling above. You can't quite tell what without looking closer, but Ness, you would know that these are some of the city guard. A lot of them, just depending on what rank and what class, they might fly on different creatures' backs. A lot of them use things like griffins as they take off from their high lofty towers where they're stationed and kind of not only have a good eye on the city, but they kind of impose their like dominance from above, displaying how they are always keeping a watchful eye on the city from high above. But yeah, you guys are now approaching the gates. Appear to be wide open. They don't appear to be worried about anybody coming or going at this point. And as you guys now approach the gate, you do see what appear to be some stables off to the side. They're also kind of covered in it's not the same opulence that it looks like await you just beyond the city, but these are very nice stalls. They're still made with wood, but they do appear to be inlaid with different sorts of pigments and paints to really make them sparkle and shine, so they really stand out. As you guys approach, a high elf man with kind of long brown hair steps out. He says, "All right, I assume these are for me." He kind of sees as you guys hop off your horses. Very good. Thank you, and I hope that you will use our service once again, and have a wonderful time in Aurora. He kind of gives you a nod.
So much.
Okay.
Ladies, gentlemen, first order of business. What would you like to do? I know the city well. Nothing high nor low that I can't connect us with. I, for one, would like to get out of these blood-stained, tattered clothes and maybe find something a little better to adorn myself with.
Let's go shopping!
But if Mercy, if or Dragathiel as well, if you'd like to, I know Dragathiel, we didn't speak about your curse, but it seems very clear that you are afflicted as well.
Yeah. You don't know if there happens to be a temple to Tyrion around here, do you?
I think there are probably several.
Cool. I'm gonna find one.
I gotcha. And Mercy, if you're still interested, Tyrion would be able to assist you as well. It's a good order, a righteous order. A little on the heavy-handed side, but never one to turn away someone in need.
Yeah, please, I could really use that. I just small request. Do you mind if we try and keep a slightly lower profile around here?
I don't think we'll have to worry about that too much.
Okay.
Keep your head down and go from point A to point B, and we
We
should be all right.
Okay.
Yes?
I just tend to gather a little attention.
As long as it's off of me.
I feel like that's a choice.
It's really not.
As you guys are all leaving the stables, can you all roll me a perception check just for
Yes, I can.
shits and giggles?
17.
Okay.
9. Oh, sorry, 11. 11, sorry.
Never
17.
forget.
Okay.
15, sorry.
Did you get that?
I just got it.
Oh, I didn't hear. I didn't. Yeah.
He said 9, no 11, and I
Oh.
said never forget.
Yeah. Okay. Now you guys don't take notice of anything. It was just an Easter egg. But yeah.
Mercy, would you I can't help but notice that you are preferring not to be noticed. Would you like to borrow my cloak? It has a hood. It's super comfy.
Actually, yeah, I think that would be really nice.
Just take care of Gerald because he's my favorite.
Sure. Thank you. That's very generous.
As you
Ooh,
place this
stylish.
cloak on your back, you do immediately just feel warmer, like comfort, like the perfect temperature that a body can be at is the way you feel right now.
Mm,
Like 72 degrees all the time.
It
really
is
nice.
absolutely perfect. So,
My little brooch changes it to match it.
as you guys now approach the gates of Aurora and begin to step through, this city is very fantastically built. Every element of the city, while certainly functional, appears to have been crafted with form in mind. High archways, towering spires, and beautiful stained glass define Aurora. Smooth curves and winding, intricate patterns adorn most of the buildings, gates, and even fences and other smaller structures. Everything is woven together in a way that seems to merge civilization and nature in a way that almost seems to flaunt the elves' ability to control and bend inorganic matter to kind of match natural forms. As you step inside, I mean, the city's pretty busy. Mostly high elves, but you do see mixed other races kind of walking around, going about their business. Aurora's a big city. What are you guys doing?
I don't know if the background features or whatever that in character creation.
Okay.
Really, if you really apply, I was just clicking through stuff when I was making him, but I have the like city secrets feature where I can find passages and move quickly and get us to places without too much fuss.
Absolutely. So as you guys enter the city, are you guys? Do you have a destination in mind, Ness?
The Temple of Tyrann.
Okay. So, in this city, there are multiple locations for plenty of different, places of worship for gods and things. There is one district in particular that's kind of like the church district, as they have over the centuries not so humbly competed to have the largest and finest place of worship. That is in fact also where the Church of Ewa that you are from, that's the sect that you are in, is located there. You can get there fairly quickly, especially knowing the cities you do. You can avoid a lot of the busier causeways and things and make your way there pretty quick. As you guys follow, as you see Ness, as you follow him as he kind of steps down off the main road in what you see to be a set of stairs that kind of go down. And as you look around in this, now what seems to almost be a layer beneath the city that doesn't seem like it should be there. But as you look around, there are people living down here. And things are a lot less grand. And as you look around, there's more steps. It goes deeper. The city is not only built in pretty vertically, you get the sense that there's several layers beneath. But as you make your way, cutting through various different alleys and underground tunnels and things, you do manage to, within about the next 30 minutes, make your way to the church district. Out ahead of you guys, you do see just these beautiful, just many different places of worship, different churches, large buildings, just many stories high. Several of them have banners or large statues erected in front of them for each god that they depict and worship. So, you guys make your way towards Tyrn, which is pretty obvious, as he's the one standing with a large kind of executioner style sword with his hands over the top of it. It's pretty easy to find. You guys just going straight in, or what are you doing?
I'm just gonna, before we like engage with anything, I was just gonna, like, in this area, I've like kind of hiked up the cloak that Bete gave me.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna turn to Ness and be like, and here I was thinking I knew Aurora.
Yeah. I would imagine, just from, no offense, but the look of you, that this is not some place that you would have spent a lot of time.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
It's
But
okay.
Now,
It's
look
okay.
where we are.
Yeah, we all have our path to walk, don't we?
It's that we do.
But here we are,
Together.
together. There is Tyrn's temple, as you can see. I would take you into mine, but I haven't fulfilled my quest. I've been told not to return until I do. So here we are. Temple of Tyrn.
Ness, what is your quest?
I am looking for the... Fuck, I need to pull up the note. I have it written.
You're
I had
looking
it
for the shards of Felena.
Felena. That's, yeah, I wanted to say like Falana or something. Yeah.
Falafel.
The falafel. I'm looking for a falafel.
Yeah.
You guys going to get some shawarma?
Guy. Woo, shawarma.
I'm here to avenge my family. I'm just
I'm
looking
here-
for a good falafel.
I'm looking for some falafel. Maybe a little hummus on the side. I'm looking. My order has sent me to find the shards of Felena, which, I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
You don't know anything about the shards. They just said, "Scoot your booch."
Well, I mean, that's part of the rite of passage, really. Not everything is going to be handed to you.
I mean, go. They just said, "Here's some stuff that we've heard of. Go find it."
So you and I aren't altogether all that different.
I mean,
Wow.
that's at least you know who you are.
It's true.
But I'm relating on a whole different level of
Bate,
where we're going.
and this is going to sound like a cliche, because it is. But sometimes it's not about the destination. Sometimes it's about the journey.
That's
It's not about who you are.
That's
It's about
good.
who you choose to be.
well, of course, but I don't know. Knowing, I don't know. It's so frustrating not knowing who I am or who I've been.
The best thing about not knowing where you're headed is you can just pick any direction.
I mean, that's essentially how I found all of you.
Yeah.
But,
And I'm sure if I pick one direction and it's not the right one, then I've eliminated one possibility.
and I'm sorry. What was it you were looking for? The shards of
Felena.
Felena. Interesting.
I'm sure it couldn't be that hard to find. I mean, I was just an acolyte when they sent me, but
But they didn't tell you why they sent you?
they just told me that I was ready. I was ready to see the bigger world And you know, I've been here my whole life, and this city is all I've ever known. And really, until I came and met all of you, I'd never left the walls. So they decided for my training and to help me grow as a cleric and a servant of the faith, that it was time for me to make my way. So they sent me on a quest.
I really hope this doesn't offend you. It is not meant to offend you in any sense. I swear. Why do you let them dictate that to you? I'm sorry. I guess I'm wondering why you believe what they've told you. And I please do not take offense to that. I don't mean it in any offense to your religion or any of that. I'm just, as someone who doesn't really know what they believe, I'm really interested in why you believe what you believe.
Hard question to answer, but you just saw where I came from. You just saw the place that I grew up. We were actually, believe it or not too far away from the home, if you can call it that I grew up in. And from the looks on your faces as we traveled through, and the looks on your faces as you saw the people who live there, I'm sure that you can assume what life is like for people.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Not easy, not fair, in many cases not decent or honest. And when I did have the opportunity to come up here and travel in this world, there was one place that stood out, one people that stood out, beyond the gnomes, of course, little scamps. And that was Yua. Yua stands for justice and goodness and fairness and decency and everything I always wished I could have. And I thought if there was anybody who could take me out of here and help me find a better place, find a better world, it would be them. And so far, I think I've made the right choice.
Thank you.
But
I don't have anything like that. I'm really glad you do.
You could. You'll find your way, Bate. We'll help you.
Yeah, and Bate, as he's saying all this to you, especially when he begins talking about Yua and what she stands for, you just get kind of an interesting warm feeling inside that's familiar. So, Ness remaining outside, the rest of you are entering the Temple of Tirn?
Yes.
I can go into the Temple of Tirn.
Okay.
I can't go into the Temple of Yua.
Okay, I thought you said you were... Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. I thought you said you were waiting outside.
Yeah, you're good.
Thought you were waiting outside. Okay, cool. So as you guys head into the Temple of Tirn, it's kind of overbearing with its justice symbolism. Everything from scales to, like, again, executioners to, like, pictures of people who are writing laws. Like, you can see just all sorts of different depictions of law and justice, and also those of what you can only gather to be images and stained glass pictures and you know, all sorts of tapestries and things of those who must have been the great heroes of Tirn, his greatest avatars, his the people of the past who upheld every aspect of Tirn. The paragons, as it were. You see depictions of violence, putting down evil, but everything is depicted as very clearly evil and very clearly good. As you walk in, it's a place that feels safe, certainly, but also the further in you go, you feel like eyes are watching you and judging you for things come to mind that you've done in the past. You're like, man, I really fucked up that, or this is bad, or why did I even think this was okay? And all of you kind of begin to question a lot of your choices in life as you step further into this temple.
Guys, this place feels really judgy.
It's literally all of this place is about.
It's not all this place is about.
As you... What'd you say, Ness?
I said agree to disagree on that one.
It just feels...
We need to do
weird. This feels weird.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Yeah, as
We
you
just need to do
guys
this.
begin making your way further into the temple, an older attendant steps forward and says, yes, can I help you?
Hello, sir. I am here first and foremost to give my offerings and prayer to our dear Lord Tyr.
Justice be swift.
9 ounce.
Absolutely, justice be swift. Also, though, we had wondered if anyone here could maybe help us with a slight dilemma, which does wade into the waters of relating to conquest.
What is it that you speak? I will, of course, try to aid you however that we can.
You see, I have this mighty battle axe, and my friend over there has a great sword. And while they're great at aiding us in our honorable duty to protect everyone from evil, they're kind of maybe a little bit cursed.
I see. He kind of looks over the weapons. Yes, come with me.
Okay.
He kind of turns, and this guy, he's a high elf. But even still, he's got to be very old. He's probably nearing the 300. Like for an elf, he's an older guy. As you look at him, he does have just kind of like his hair is beginning to lose its color even. Just hints of wrinkles kind of all around his face and eyes. And the robe that he's got on, it's very heavy. You see a large chain around it with many of those different aspects, which Dragathiel to symbolize the different areas of learning and the different accomplishments he's had over the years. And as he kind of leads you guys into another chamber towards the back, he says, if you will, just wait here and I shall retrieve one of our maesters. And he kind of heads out, leaving you guys in a small room. And essentially it's just a plain room, stone room. In front of you, though, there's a small stone table set out. It appears to be ritualistic in nature. And as he makes his way back, he says, all right, this is Maester Turn, and he should hopefully be able to give you what you seek. This is his area of specialty more than mine, so I wish you the best. And he kind of backs out, leaving you in there. And this man that comes in says, all right, I hear that you have objects that are cursed.
Eep.
Do you know the nature of these curses?
Like, what do they cause?
Well, that would be a useful place to start. What is your experience with them?
Well, I'm not so sure about the sword yet, but I had a friend check mine out, and mine, once I'm in battle, will make me attack other people if I get injured.
Recklessly.
With
Impulsively.
reckless abandonment, yes.
And no discernment of friend or foe, which really
That
is kind
too.
of the concern.
This is disturbing, of course.
I hit a war turtle.
And the other, you said there are two.
Yeah. Mercy, can
Yeah, I have this great sword, and the only thing I've noticed is one, I love it very much, almost compulsively,
I see.
and two, I have visions, dreams, and they've gotten progressively worse. I can't get any sleep, and all I think about is exacting some sort of execution on somebody.
Is this person evil?
They deserve it. That's all I know. I don't know if they're evil, but they
Do they deserve it, or does
They
the
deserve to
sword
be
make
killed.
you-
Oh,
Is that the sword talking, or you talking, Mercy?
I don't know.
You said that in your dreams you were using the sword to hurt people that had hurt you, but it wasn't really you. Is that
Not
correct?
so much people, but one person.
One
And I can't
person.
make out who they are, but it was one person, and I desperately needed to inflict damage on them. Like, I needed to hurt them. I needed to kill them.
Do you remember why? Is it because they were hurting you, or
It seemed in some sort of revenge that after they had subjected me to so much pain and they put me through so much that I was kind of it was in revenge. That's all I know.
it's understandable?
Well, if it is righteous vengeance, I don't know if this is a curse or not. I
That's
can
what we're trying to figure
certainly take a look. And he kind of, if you would both hand your weapons over and sit them on the table here.
Sure.
I think you're gonna have a hard
slight
time with that.
difficulty
Yeah, I
with
don't
that.
think I'm gonna be able to set it down. Is there something it's not, I just met you and it's a really nice sword.
I see. He kind of looks at the both of you. Could you place them on the table, but keep your hands on them?
That
Fine.
sounds like a great idea.
I can try.
I certainly don't need to take them from you if it is going to cause you concern.
It would cause a lot more than concern, but I can do. Yes, yeah. And
Okay.
I guess lay it on the table with hand on it.
So, the ritual I'm going to cast is not inexpensive and does require a good bit of material. And you see he pulls out a bag and he kind of spreads a few diamonds across the thing there. Do you have a...
What is the cost?
Well, I will have to see how much it takes me to remove the curse, but I would expect, if it's what I think it is for these weapons, probably on the order of about 50 to 100 gold, depending on
I'll
the
cover it.
severity.
This isn't your problem, but hey, I have this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have
And it's all to help with my temple. I have this. It's fine.
it's covered between all of us.
Very well. And he kind of begins as you kind of...
I don't know about that.
Hmm?
I don't know about that.
Well,
I didn't
maybe
Yeah.
not you.
steal cursed weapons and then, apropos of nothing, attune myself to them. So this is a burden somebody else can pay for.
Okay.
I led you here, but I'm not going to pay for it.
That's another question. Did you want your stone inspected as well, or are you going to hold on to that?
Yeah.
So you kind of place that on the table. You don't seem to have any attachment issues that the other two have. So as you guys kind of like just very gently put your weapons on the table, holding on to them still, he begins focusing first on the great axe there. Let me see real quick. So he gives it a moment and focuses. And after about a minute or two of just him intensely kind of like focusing on it, and you see him kind of praying and moving his hands over it, there's like almost like a bit of blackness that seems to get pulled out of it and sucked into the diamond, and the diamond shatters into ash. So that was not so bad, was it? Let me attempt the other. And he begins focusing. He begins focusing on your sword, Mercy. And you guys see him focus, like as he focuses, his brow begins to crease as he focuses harder and harder.
Think about it hard. Think harder
Yeah,
about it.
He's trying really hard, and he, after a few moments, you guys see beads of sweat pouring down his face. He's like, This is very strange. Where did you say you acquired this?
I don't know if you're familiar with Lady Indalia and her tower.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Should I be?
And not now, but I got it from a friend, a powerful friend who had it stored there in a chest, and we used it to help save her. But upon taking it from this chest and using it, I've grown very attached to it, and Indalia was not able to shed too much light on other than the fact that it was a curse, a very strong curse, potentially, or perhaps something different.
I see. So, there's a presence, perhaps a spirit, I'm not sure. Inside this blade, I don't know if it is fully awake, as I didn't get much of a sense of it. But it is going to be very difficult to excise. How much time do you have? And better yet, how much money I may need to acquire more materials? As you look, like, he's gone through 3 diamonds at this point, and it is not he appears to have not made any progress. So it is possible I can remove this, so it may take more, but this is a very strong spirit.
Is it a bad spirit? Is it?
Well, the nature is difficult to say. It does seem to be a bit on the vengeful side, though towards what, I cannot say. So, I cannot give you too much more guidance without more time. If you could leave the sword, perhaps I could take some time to focus and bring in some help, but
I can't leave it.
I thought not.
How long would it take to get help?
Well, we may have to call in help from another city. I could call in some of the others to help me here. I am a Maester of Tyrn, so I generally do handle some purifications and healing, but whereas many of our others are focused, of course, on delivering vengeance and justice on those who have crossed the line of justice into evil. My kind, I'm sorry to say, are far fewer in the realm of Tyrn than they might be elsewhere, but
Thank you so much for your help. So you think we would need to bring in people from other cities to possibly look at this?
That could take weeks.
It could take time. I know Archmaester Jan is he's in White Rock, but that's a bit of the ways away.
You're saying the Archmaester. That's the.
It may be necessary. He's of course always willing to help when he has time, but he's in White Rock, in our church there. So,
what's his name?
So I'll send it to you. It's Archmaester Yorin. But yeah, I'm afraid this spell, this curse, this being, is beyond my ability to remove, at least by myself, without significantly more time. And I don't think I will be able to get you to part from your blade long enough to remove it myself, if I am able to at all.
I'm gonna send a mind bullet to Ness. Do you think there's any chance that if we went to your temple and went in without you, that they would be able to help us? Bullshit. The good thing is, Mercy, the sword doesn't hurt us. You know?
That's true.
In battle, it's still an asset. And you're still you. And we can find other avenues to explore this. Does anybody have any other ideas?
It seems to me like go to White Rock and try to track down the Archmaester of the Church of Tyrn, which is a tall order. Or maybe we fulfill this thing's need. If a Maester of Tyrn can't immediately judge this thing as evil, maybe
Break the curse.
maybe the cause is just. Maybe the cause is good. I'm gonna have to think about this. That's disconcerting, but
Alternatively, we fulfill with the spirit once,
exactly.
and then all of a sudden maybe it starts working in our favor.
That's
Maybe
what I
there's-
was thinking originally. Is maybe
that.
with your dreams, if you can, I don't know how lucid you are in your dreams, but if when you wake up you can write down what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've learned from your dreams, and maybe we can find a way to break the curse of the sword by helping it achieve righteous vengeance, if that's what it's looking for.
I think that actually might be a worthwhile quest. I can try and pay better attention. I mean, the dreams have definitely become more lucid as time's gone on.
We should get you a notebook so you can write them down when you wake up when we get to town.
We are in town.
I mean, out of the temple.
With that, the maester still working behind you on the stone. He pipes up. He says, "Yes, this very minor. This was much easier to handle. A bit more of an inconvenience than anything. It seems it was. I don't quite know the full effect of whatever this stone does, but this seems to have been intended, perhaps as a joke, to make it do the opposite. So, here you go. That is no charge. It required no materials on my part."
But the opposite. I'm sorry. What is the purpose of the stone?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you, but the effect seemed to have been meant to make it do the opposite. So
You've removed that.
that is correct. And he hands the axe back to you, Durgathiel. You now no longer feel compelled to just hold on to it all the time. You put it down, you let it go. You're like, huh, okay. You still like it. It's a great weapon.
Beautiful.
But you now no longer feel this this attachment that is so strong that you would hurt other people to keep it.
Mercy, don't worry. Now that I'm uncursed, we can figure out your sword dealy. It'll be great. Me and Ophelia will whack anything that gets in your way, and we won't whack you.
That's a good name.
It's a good
yeah,
name.
it's Ophelia. That's her name.
So as he kind of looks at you, he says, "Well, I apologize for being unable to help with the one. The total between the two items is 150 gold pieces for the diamond that was the 4 diamonds that were used. And you don't have to give it to me now. If you could drop it in the offering bucket on the way out, that would be most appreciated."
Offering bucket.
Yeah, they just kind of have a large. It's a lot, kind of more like a large pot. Yeah.
Right.
And he kind of gives you a nod and says,
Well, how much did you say it was? 150?
"Yeah, 150.
Okay.
Well, best of luck on your journey, and justice be swift." And he kind of turns and
Thank
leaves.
you.
Um,
Well, that
I would
actually
like
helped.
to leave here as quickly as possible.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Are you guys? I mean, I'm happy to throw in with you guys. 50 gold each. If not, I can do more.
No, I have the gold.
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable pitching in, Bate.
I'm happy doing a third between the 3 of us if you guys are down for that. If you need more, I can give you more.
No, trust me. I have sufficient funds, but I respect you wanting to put in 50, so I will put in my 50.
and I'm also gonna put in 50, and I'm gonna put in an extra 10 and make a quick prayer.
Okay.
Just for further protection in our honorable conquests.
Okay. Very good. and you do so on your way out. So you guys make your way out of the temple. Returning into the light of day, it was not dark in there, but it kind of felt like it was. It felt oppressive, and it wasn't that it was necessarily negative energy. It just felt very kind of intense. Certainly the Church of Tyrion is one of, as their saying goes, swift justice, and that is the thing they focused the most on. So as you guys make your way back out into the sunlight, city awaits you. It's a clear day. The rest of you see different monks and different deacons and things from all the different churches walking up and down this highway, all talking about their different gods. You see some of them debating about who's greater and why. But other than that, I mean, nobody's paying you guys much attention other than the occasional glance at Ness, who appears to stand out even though he's been here for all his life.
Mercy. I know that you know the city, particularly the upper levels, probably just as good as I do, if not better. And I know that you all have some errands to attend to, but I have a personal matter.
You need my help.
No.
Oh.
No. It's not dangerous. But I would like to have some time alone in the city, if you guys don't mind.
No.
Ness,
And
what would happen if we went to your church without you?
nothing. They would welcome you in. They would offer you services. They would treat you with love and kindness.
Do you think it would be worthwhile to have them check out Mercy's sword?
They could. I don't know that that there's anyone. I spent 5 years amongst the leaders and the maesters of the Church of Yua here in this city, and as much admiration and respect as I have for them, I don't know that they could illuminate us any more than anyone in the Church of Tyrion on this issue. If it's so significant that one of the head really of an entire church, as powerful and strong as Tyrion is, I have some ideological disagreements with their methods, but no one can say that they're not just and powerful. And if they here in this grand city can't pierce the veil of this spirit, I don't know that anyone in my temple could either.
And I'm more
For the insight.
interested in pursuing, maybe lean into it a little bit, to what these visions are saying or what the spirit wants. It's worth a
There
shot.
are
Worth exploring.
many, as you know, Mercy, there are many magicians and wizards around the city who offer that kind of service for a fee. Perhaps that is, as I suggested earlier, your next step. We can attempt to remove this curse, or we can attempt to explore it and fulfill what seems to be the destiny of this sword, which is vengeance. Perhaps it is just vengeance. Perhaps it's even goodness. It's hard to say. If the Maester of Tyrion can't say one way or the other, then I don't know that anyone can, except for the sword itself. But getting more insight into that may not be a bad idea.
So you're saying that there's people here who can at least give more information if we were to take a route of following its destiny.
Absolutely.
I would definitely very much
and
like
I
to
would-
see somebody like that out.
It's this is out of character.
Okay.
It seems from insight from what you're saying, Mercy, that you don't necessarily know where like a wizard, like a magical shop or anything like that would be, but I could certainly like so at this point, because
Yeah.
not wanting to give specific directions, I give you directions of like, oh yeah, if you go into this district, there's this little shop, there's a guy who works here. I've known plenty of people who've picked up little trinkets and they've identified it. Go and talk to such and such. I would assume, just because of my backstory, that he's like a gnome, maybe like an illusionist or something, who has like a little store or something that I used to talk to? Or
sure. If you're looking, there are many places to go, but if you're looking for somebody maybe not as high up, if you're looking to support one of the little guys that you knew, growing up, then certainly.
Sure.
There are many a gnome in the underbelly of Aurora for sure. And you can certainly direct him there if you like.
For sure. Somebody would give him, a good price if he dropped my name or something like that.
Okay. Sure.
So I relay that to
okay,
you.
yeah, sure.
I just didn't want to role play it all out with saying like, take a
Yeah,
left here
right.
and then go this way.
I understand.
Waste of time.
So
Thank you.
what are you three doing? And then Ness.
Ness, I will inform you. Yeah.
I assume you're leaving.
I'm gonna split off. But I'm making this role play choice that you're completely you don't know you don't know what the role play choice is. So I'm assuming we're gonna save it for another session so I can give you.
That's fine. We are.
It would be a significant thing,
Okay. You can message me.
But I'm. Oh yeah.
All right. So the other three of you guys, what are you guys doing?
Thinking since we're in this kind of area with all the temples, we can look around for maybe a shop that sells some good potions.
Good with that. I like shiny things and potions.
Sure. Have you already left Ness, or are you guiding them around until?
I'll take them a portion of the way.
Okay.
I'll take them a portion of the way and then kind of split off from them.
Sure. Are you guys? Are you going to plan to meet them anywhere, or are you like assuming? Because at this point, it's probably like a little later in the afternoon. It's not too long before you guys would likely turn in. They've probably got a few more hours left in the day, but.
Ness, is there somewhere we can stay that you'd recommend that we could all meet up later this evening?
Well, that really depends. Would you like to get a good night's rest, or would you like to have a real nice time?
Big city, we can't do both?
You can, but I find the sorts of places that I know of, you kind of have to pick.
I mean, at this point, I'm good with either. What do you guys think? You want to go out? You want to party it up?
I just start poking Mercy. I think someone needs a good time.
Be fine. I'm guessing we can
A
wait
real
till
good
tomorrow.
We're voting a
this
real
thing.
good time.
Okay. So you guys are welcome to wander around, go out shopping and drinking. As far as your accommodations, Ness, there's a place that you were very familiar with. It's called Lofty Heights. It's kind of ironically named as it is the opposite, being just in like the basic underlevel of the city there. It's not. It's as far as where it's located, it's pretty reputable. It's very clean. It's definitely not as nice as a lot of the taverns you'd find on the upper levels. As you guys kind of like glance up, you do see a lot of the upper towers even have what appear to be kind of their own connecting paths and things that kind of wind through, giving the people above the ability to walk around without ever having to set foot on the ground with a lot of the common folk in order to go between different towers. But there are definitely, it depends on how expensive you guys want to go if you want, but that is probably the best place that Ness knows of that is not outrageously priced and is not going to be full of rich people that he probably wouldn't want to direct you towards anyways.
Bed's a bed. I'm fine.
Okay. So you guys agree to meet up there later. At this point, Ness kind of takes his leave of you, heading out to do his thing. The rest of you, what are you guys doing? Shopping? Just turn in for the night?
Potions.
Let's go shopping.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you guys can. So, Aurora's a rather magically rich city as far as the world is concerned. There only being a few more that probably outpace it. Are you guys just looking for any type of potion? Healing potions?
I'm specifically looking for healing potions because
Okay.
I've never had any. I would like to have.
Yeah,
something like that.
he's pointed you. There's a couple different districts you can shop at. There's one that's almost like a city center where it's a little more touristy. He's told you about. It's got like lots of shops. You can buy anything anywhere. It's also where a lot of the main celebrations are held. A lot of different nice restaurants and things like that are just right there in the center of the city. Outside of that, there are plenty of places in the underbelly that he's pointed you to as well. And they're all relatively. He gives very good directions with his landmarks and things to help you guys find your way. So, are you just going to like more touristy spot, or are you going straight for some of the underbelly stuff?
Underbelly.
Underbelly.
Okay. Yeah, you guys managed to make your way through this kind of under street, which it's basically it every few feet there's, or not every few feet, but every, like 100 feet or so, there are stairs kind of going up. Like, it was built to be able to get out of physically, but it's almost like a street that runs parallel underneath the street above. And as you guys make your way through, the people, at least on this level, they definitely look less fancy than the people above you, but they still don't look destitute. However, as you kind of make your way further and further in the city, you do see people who you're like, oh my goodness, this is so much the opposite of everything that this city appears to be. You see a couple children going past just wearing just basic rags. You do see people, the occasional person who seems to be very much sick, even though they should have access to plenty. It's not the worst you've ever seen, or heard of at least, but it is certainly a strange and sour side to this otherwise beautiful city. And as you guys kind of make your way past a lot of this, you end up at a small, we'll call it hovel, of a shop. It's not terrible, but it is definitely it's definitely a hole in the wall sort of place. A small gnomish character sees you guys come in. You can see his head like above the counter. He says, "Oh, hello, customers," and he like hops down. You see him hop down, and his head just kind of bobbing below the height of the actual the counter. There is his little bald gnomish head. As he makes his way around to greet you, says, "Hello, my name is Tlin Guan. It is very nice to meet you. Is if I can interest you in anything, I am happy to point you in whatever direction." That if I have what you need, please let me know, or I can probably make it or order it for you. But it is welcome to my shop.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
I'm gonna have to spell it for you. So, so TWLIM, Tlim.
Flim?
Yeah, and then the last Tlim.
Twim Flim.
Sure, just call him Tlim. You can just call me T if that makes it easier.
T. Nice to meet you. I'm Pate.
It is nice to meet you.
We're just shopping.
Oh, very good. Well, I have many goods available. Mainly potions and a few minor magical things. Just
Magical things. What magical things do you have?
Just all sorts of things. What are you looking for? It says I've only got so much room, and you kind of look around, and some of it's organized, but a lot of it's kind of in piles. He's like, you're welcome to dig through, and I could try to help you find what you're looking for, but did you have anything in mind? I can see.
I'm just kind of perusing, looking for fun magics.
Oh,
No.
I like toys or.
I mean, I like blowing things out.
I don't know if.
She likes weird toys.
It's true. I mean, I also really like disguises. I like
Potions.
invisibility. I like what kind
Well,
of, I mean, stuff like that.
I may have some. Let me dig a bit. I've got a few. I know I have at least one magical mask that I don't know if it's what you're into, but it helps in seducing. If that is your sort of thing.
What?
Well, it kind of adds mystique and mystery a bit, and it's a kind of seductress sort of mask.
Oh.
I have these are very popular. He kind of goes even. I've got a few of these. These are called the Wonder Shot. It's as you kind of look at it, it's a little like slingshot sort of thing. It's like this is very popular with the children these days, but they can be quite potent depending on the ammunition you load them with. I've got a bag of different pellets here.
What do they do?
So the Wonder Shot can do a lot of different things. Everything he he kind of like holds it out and he's like, so I don't remember what all of these do, but you kind of look and there's a on the handle itself there are 3 stone slots, and he hands you a bag of about, it looks like 5 or 6 different stones. So the way it works is you can bind stones to it 3 at a time, and after you fire them they'll return, so you can repeat it.
That's cool.
But the effects, from what I recall, I don't remember what all the colors do, but they do everything from making loud noises, or I think one of them even like makes a rainbow.
What a rainbow!
But
That's so cool.
but as far as what all they do, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to. I'm sorry, but I don't have they sent a letter with them, but
Hey, if they return, I'll test them out. That'd be super fun.
sure. If you
I'm
would,
down for that, and whatever the rapey potion that you had was sounds interesting too.
is a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So for the let me do math again.
It is called rufalinolin.
Oh my god.
So for the wonder shot, he quotes you a price of 20 gold pieces.
Okay.
For the mask, it is going to be, let me double check. I think it's going to be about 75. Yes, 75 gold pieces for the mask. He does have other potions and things, but he tells you most of them are going to be potions of the healing variety. Anything much more special than that, he says he can probably prepare. It'll take some time, as in a few days, or he can special order them, that sort of thing. But most of the potions appear to be for healing. Most of them.
I would like to peruse your potions.
Okay, sure. He's got plenty of potions. He's got regular healing potions. He's got a few greater healing potions. He does have a little bit. You do see a few other potions, but being as Bate asks for ones that turn you invisible or things like that, he doesn't appear to have any of those.
I actually laughed out loud so hard at the fucking rapey potion.
Wait. How long does the rapey potion last?
No, it's a
Not a
mask.
potion, it's a mask.
Not a po- I'm sorry, it's just a mask, so I have it forever.
You put it on your face.
Yeah, you'd have to attune to it, but it is a
I'm buying all these things.
mask of the seductress, and it is 75 gold.
Oh my God.
The wonder shot's 25. So as far as
Yeah, I'm gonna buy all these things.
Wait. T.
Can't you morph
y-
into people?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
can you still, because we changed your stuff around, remember?
yeah, no, I kept
You
disguise, and I got rid of detect magic.
Okay, very good.
What do you
Wait, does it
have
matter?
all the seduction you need?
But wait. What does seduction do that disguising myself doesn't?
I don't quite understand the question.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Disguising yourself disguises you.
Yeah.
Seduction, seduction, I mean, he can tell you.
What is that?
So
It
the
would,
way
like, give you better rolls or something like that,
yes,
right?
it basically it'll give you a bonus, which you'll know once you attune to it. But he tells you it basically makes it easier if you are persuading via like seductive means, like if you're flirting with somebody, or trying to like whether you fall through with it or not, whether you act like you are gonna give them a little something extra, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Or glimpse into Mercy's life.
Okay.
A glimpse into Rain's life. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
You know what I'm saying?
that explains a lot.
Seduction mask.
Seduction man.
So
Take me by the hand.
cool. So how much gold do you have left there, Bate?
No, she didn't turn it over yet because I tried to stop her.
What?
Oh, she put.
I have 285 gold.
Cool. Put it away for now.
But I'm
T.
shopping. I want the. I want.
T.
Yes.
How much are the greater
Look.
magic potions for healing?
You weren't even really sure what the wonder shot did. I can't imagine they're flying off the shelf. You can do a little bit better than what, 100 total for both items. I'm gonna like roll my roll.
So go ahead.
Okay.
First
Tim,
roll to
you
see if
gotta
you.
hook us up, bro.
Natural 20.
Okay, you succeeded on that part. Go ahead and
Are you helping me haggle?
he's attempting to. Let's see.
Um,
Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice you twirling your ring around. Your wing around.
We wing
The
around.
wing around. Wing around the wall.
My way's a rifle.
My ways are.
my ways a rifle.
Why am I saying what way?
I got a wait. This would be under persuasion.
This one's gonna be persuasion. Yes.
14.
Let me see. Okay. Well, I maybe could knock a little bit off. I think it's unfortunate that my store is down here, not on the upper level. I think the children above would get a kick out of these, but, well, the parents, of course, don't let them come down here quite often, and the people down here can only afford so much. So, I can do it for 20 instead of 25.
And what about the mask?
Well,
Gonna help a sister out.
it's
Here's what we'll do. You shave a little price off. We'll go talk it up to the people up in the upper level. I mean, and can I like flash under the shawl? Whatever.
Armor?
No,
The
it's just
cloak.
flash the armor, but like open the cloak, show like I'm upper level material. Like I can spread some word that your shop.
Are you
does good
actually
business.
are you actually intending to do this?
Yes,
Okay.
just a little.
Okay. Well, let's wait and see what else that you intend to buy, and we can talk final price after you all have made your decisions.
Fine bullets to Mercy. You're the best, dude.
So, Dragathiel, you were asking a question. No, you're good.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you're good. You're good.
What's the pricing on your healing potions here?
How strong of a potion are you looking for?
Stronger, better.
Well, so he has a small. It's basically what you're looking at is he's almost got like a small like glass container. It's got several potions in it. Well, I have a superior healing potion, just one, and it's going to be a little more on the expensive side, about 500 gold. It is very potent, but well.
I don't think we need something quite that potent.
Well, you always say that until you need it and die. That's it is a I'm not to tell you how to shop, but it is a potion
You're
meant
very
to
strong,
it
though.
is a magical potion meant to save your life. So I don't know if you can put a price on that yet. I've done it, so
Get up.
I mean, let's be fair. I'm pretty strong.
She's
I'm not
really strong.
expecting.
right. Well, I do have several other regular healing potions. They're going to go for 50, and then it'll be 100 for the greater.
I don't know.
This ain't no Zelda game where you go cutting grass and getting infinite potions.
Right.
It's a life.
I don't know. I just
It's a hospital in a bottle.
I feel like, what if these aren't quality?
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, are these good quality potions?
Oh, of course, only the very best.
Is there any way to actually like know that? By the way.
So, you can either try and see if he's lying. I'll let you roll an insight check, or I will let you roll a medicine check.
I would rather roll a medicine check.
Well, let's see. Are you proficient in medicine or arcana?
I am. I think I'm proficient. Hold on. I'm proficient in medicine. Yes.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Key. 14.
I mean, they appear to be healing potions. You don't see anything blatantly wrong with them. There's no like sediment settled on the bottom or anything. They appear to be a single opaque color that doesn't appear to be. You don't see any impurities. They seem to be normal, as best you can tell.
Well, you can never be too safe.
Sure.
All right.
I wouldn't do that to you all the time.
Happy it ends.
Yeah, throw in 2 of those smaller potions.
Okay. So go ahead and add 2 potions of healing to your inventory and take out 100 gold. Well, okay. I guess you're gonna. Are you guys combining your?
Yeah.
Okay.
all
If you
together
will
to-
hook us up, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Is these 2 potions of healing, 1 wonder shot,
It's
and
a bundle.
and a mask of seduction. Is there anything else that I can provide you with?
Mercy, is there anything you like in here?
Okay.
All right. So the total would have been 200 gold total. I can bring the price down to 160.
150 it is then.
Sorry, but 160 is what I said.
Well, pay the man.
We'll pay them.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so just 80. If you'll each take 80, if it's just the 2 of you
Are
paying.
you okay with that, Dragathiel?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, let's do it. Thanks for saving me monies.
Boop.
You know what's funny? You guys have yet to be kicked out of anywhere, yet the other party has gotten kicked out of literally every place they've
So
gone
many
in.
places.
For what? Stealing?
Or just you'll have to
I
watch and see, but it's
Fucking
Coming
debauchery.
down, Like,
in general.
yeah.
Well,
Debauchery.
well, isn't Cody playing like a 5-year-old goblin?
that's part of it, and then there are two bird characters that aren't used to satiety and they keep doing really dumb stuff. But yeah.
Of course, there would be
You,
bird
like,
characters. Is
swallow
Empire playing a
with your
bird?
eyes? What's
Yeah.
happening?
Of course he is.
Yeah. He's playing an air coker, yeah. So, yeah, so each of you take 80 out. I assume Mercy's not paying for any of this since he's not getting any of it.
I did them a favor.
Yeah, right?
Mercy, let's go test out this thing and shoot stuff and see what happens.
Okay.
Come on,
So,
let's go, Dragathiel. It'll be fun. You can pick the first color.
Ooh. Okay.
okay. I've actually had to pull up my old sheet where I have those written down, what they do, but I do have them. So, in the meantime,
Ness is gonna love
Now that interaction is over,
yes.
I would just like to point out that I specifically sent you to a place where you should drop my name, and at no point did you mention.
I thought of that as well.
Okay, so that was the thing that I wondered because I actually had thought about that earlier, and then I was gonna ask about it, but then we got distracted by sex masks. Right? I forgot
To be fair,
because I thought
Distracted.
There was a Rufflin mask on the table. I didn't know what was happening. I mean,
I thought you had told Ty where to go for his like sword thing for a wizard, but I didn't know you'd
I
recommend.
did, and you guys didn't even do the thing that you went there for in the first place.
I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that. That was just him. I said I was going for potions
Oh my
from the
god.
start.
You said drop your name at that place, not this store.
It's the same.
Oh, it's the same store.
Wait, what?
yeah,
He's a wizard, Ari.
No.
yeah, he's a wizard. He made
I'm
the
just
he made the potions himself. Like that's kind of his jam.
If I can just jump in a little bit, like identify is a wizard spell, right? You would go to a wizard to identify magical objects.
Sure. I mean,
Typically,
yes,
right?
Usually,
Wait. This
There-
dude can identify stuff?
yeah, for a fee.
Son of a snickerdoodle. I got 2 books I got to get read.
Okay. I mean, did you ever pull them out to look at them?
I mean, not in the store. I
Oh.
didn't know bro could teach me how to.
I don't think you looked at them ever. I think
No, I did. I looked at them when I talked to Indalia because I asked
she
her
looked
if
at them and took away the one that was dangerous.
No, I did. I looked at them when I took them. And I looked at them when I told Indalia, I said, I have these 3 books.
I don't ever recall
But
you opening them to read them.
You didn't like sit down to read
Yeah.
them.
Oh.
You've glanced at them
at the
in
outside.
a-
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, oh, this is my phone, but there's a difference between this is my phone and unlocking it and reading
Okay,
stuff
I'm
on
gonna
Reddit,
look at my
right?
books right now, guys.
Okay. As the other 2 of you are still kind of perusing around the shop, you do pull out your kind of tomes from your pack and been kind of looking through them. One of them, it's written in common, and it says how to be a basically it's a guide semicolon how to be a dragon.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Dragon.
as you kind of read through it, roll me an Arcana check.
I don't even know what it 12.
As you read through it, it seems to be a lot of weird, inane nonsense about like, well, dragons walk like this, so if you get down on all fours and tape something to your butt to make it look like a tail, then you too can be a dragon. And it seems to be weird nonsense, useless information. As you glance at it, you think there's a deeper meaning, but at the moment, there may be magic hidden there somewhere, but you are having a hard time grasping it. It seems to be... at the moment, it almost seems to be as if it was written by a child, but...
Not know how train your dragon.
As you take a look at the other book, it appears to be a book that has a few spells in it. Roll me an Arcana check on that as well.
Every time I roll, it's poop. 19! Wait. 22.
22. Yeah, you glance through this, and I'll need you to note this down.
Okay.
This book is... You know that around the world, there are often spell scrolls that are essentially contain spells that you can read off incantations and use the spell. The scroll will then disintegrate, but you can use a spell, even if it's a spell you don't have access to.
Mm.
So, this actually has a few different things in it. So, the first one is an invisibility spell.
Woohoo! I was looking for one of those.
So it's actually, let me double check, make sure what I wrote down. So, yeah, so it's actually greater invisibility. And the way that this book works, it's got a lot of pages in it, but it only contains 3 spells, it looks like. So greater invisibility is the first one.
So I can, like, learn that forever?
No, you're not a wizard. If you're a wizard, you could. You can cast it one time. So the way you cast it from this book is you actually tear the page out of the spell you want, and it'll disintegrate that chapter of the book, and the spell will go off as you intend it to.
Gotcha.
So first one, greater invisibility. The second one is bark skin. Got it?
Bark skin?
Yes.
Like wolf? Ow.
Like a tree. Like
Our
a tree.
skin's
Oh,
legit,
like
yeah.
like a tree. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you meant like a barking dog. Okay. Sorry.
No. Like on a
I
tree.
was like you
Like
mean,
bark on a tree.
Bark. Ow. Okay, sorry.
As in it gives you, it's a spell that, you can read this shelf, but it's a spell that gives you skin, it hardens your skin like bark, it increases your armor class for a short period of time.
Neato.
And then the other one is a polymorph spell. It's not like true polymorph, but it's polymorph. So basically, for those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you except for Rain, polymorph is a spell that lets you turn a creature into a different type of creature for a temporary amount of time. You can use it on yourself. So
Essentially, that book is like 3 spells.
yes, they're each single use. You
I
rip
can use
out
once.
the page. Yeah, so each spell is one use. It's not going to take a spell slot, but so it's basically just a spell book of useful spells. So yeah, if you use the spell if you use polymorph on yourself, you can just turn yourself into basically whatever within reason. I'll let you read that. Otherwise, if you try to use it on like a creature that doesn't want to be polymorphed, they can make a save against it to try and avoid that. The cool thing about being turned into another creature is like say you turn yourself into like a lion or a bear or whatever.
Godzilla.
If you get killed, if you go to 0 hit points in that form, you don't die. You pop back into your regular form at full health. So, however,
Really?
yes, it's kind of overpowered, but that's why Druid is the shape-shifting Circle of the Moon Druid is really good. However, if you were like, oh, I'm gonna recon, I'm gonna turn into a mouse. If somebody hits you with a fireball as a mouse, the damage rolls. So it kills the mouse first, but if there's extra damage, that does roll over to your form. So let's say you're a lion with 50 hit points or whatever. If you take 51 damage, it kills the lion, and then you lose 1. Correct.
Gotcha.
Just to explain that in advance, because I'm sure that will get some use at some point.
Or if I use it, I got to be like Godzilla. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So
What's got most health points? That's what I am.
I'm the thing.
I am a dragon.
It's a giant rock. You cannot move or attack. You just
Most
you are
biggest rock will sit here, do nothing but not die.
Gotcha. Okay, so
If I was still berserk, that could come in handy.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
Polymorph into rock. Mountain.
So,
And the rock chooses to go
Do you
berserk.
Well, the rock is go- Okay, sorry.
can you?
Jabroni!
Oh god.
So
Okay, sorry.
that you are able to decipher those spells. It's not too difficult once you spend some time doing it. The rest of you now, if you haven't added those healing potions, add those to your inventory. And Bate, I can add the spell. Just call them. We'll just leave the 2 books in there. Keep note of them. I've got them noted here as well.
Children's dragon book that might be useful at
Might be
some
useful.
point in life.
Yeah. Without looking deeper, you don't know. It'll take you some
Wait,
time
wait.
to decipher it.
Did we leave the shop yet? Can I get Wizard Dude to look at it for me?
You can certainly try. Yeah.
Help a ninja out?
Sure. So yes, I can certainly try to help with identifying. What do you have for me?
It's this book about dragons.
Okay. My identify fee is 5 gold pieces.
Dunzo.
Okay. He spends a moment and kind of meditates on it. He's like, "This is very interesting. I cannot quite decipher the cause of this. I of course will refund your money, but it appears to be some sort of very." He looks at it and he like it looks as if he's doubting himself as he looks at the like crudely drawn pictures and reads the descriptions of like almost this childlike dragon poses and like all these different things, and like talks about like putting alcohol in your mouth and breathing over a torch, and that's, you know, basically how dragons make fire. And he's like, it feels strangely powerful, but I don't understand. It's very. I am sorry. This is new to me. I'd be happy to buy it from you if you are looking to get rid of it.
Nope, it's my dragon book. Thank you, though.
Of course.
It's my dragon book.
My dragon.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you for your assistance and for not charging me, though. I appreciate it.
Well, I was not able to succeed in my attempt. It's very strange. Let me, if you ever swing back by and find out what the book does, please let me know. I should very much like to find out.
Heck yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. Very good. So the 3 of you having completed shopping, you guys gonna go back and turn in for the night?
Yeah.
Or were you doing any more shopping? You're welcome to do more shopping. There's a
I'm
big
good.
city. Okay. It's late in the day. Maybe tomorrow.
Kind of want to test the rape mask.
I feel like we shouldn't call it the rape.
I feel like maybe he's right.
Sorry.
We'll stick to Mask of Seduction,
Mask of seduction.
which God
We
damn it.
call it the sex
Bad
mask.
goblin.
Is that okay?
It's a,
Sex mask, I think, is a step.
it's a step
up.
closer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is sex mask okay?
Right.
That's a good compromise. It's
Okay.
a good compromise between what it is and the most offensive thing I
Yeah.
can think of to call it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
All good. So, you guys, life of a dungeon master.
Yeah,
Then again, I don't know what I was expecting
different kind of dungeon.
when I'm playing with 4 children. So,
yeah.
I've got a dragon
Yeah.
book.
I've got a dragon book. I've
And
got a sex mask, and I've got a dungeon
I'm ready
master.
to
Let's
party.
go.
Where's this and its immovable rod?
Yeah, I know, right? All you need is his hanky and you're set.
For the cleanup. Yeah.
I was thinking more of a tie-up situation, but sure,
Oh,
clean up.
that works too. Sure. It's double use. It's
Yeah.
double use. You use it to tie up, and then you use it to
And
clean
then you
up.
use a cleanup. It washes well, we know. I sneezed.
I think we broke Sam.
Oh,
I think we
God,
broke
boogers.
Sam.
Still got boogers on it.
Damn.
Ah, boogers.
so
I'm trying to rub the boogers off of it onto her cloak.
My ears fell off.
all right, guys, let's bring it in. So, as you guys make your way back to the Lofty Heights Tavern that Ness told you about, it does seem to be a pretty clean place. Like, looking around, it's pretty decent. You make your way in. There are people drinking. It does have a little more of a depressed feeling than the other places you've visited so far. As if people really are drinking their woes away rather than any of them drinking for celebration. But it's clean. It's well kept. You guys just getting rooms and going to bed? What are you doing?
I'm gonna go have a martini.
Okay. Yeah, you guys take a seat at the bar for a while, waiting for Ness to show up. A few hours go by, and he's not back yet. You guys are beginning to get tired as the night wears on, and you get the sense he's probably okay. He didn't tell you where he was going, but you know, it's kind of his city. Yeah. So,
essentially, send out a mine bullet. It's probably too far, but
you just attempt to send it into the direction you think he's in.
Yeah, just like
Just-
okay.
I don't think that's how this works.
You hear somebody outside in the street. What the fuck?
Voices!
Did you hear that? What are you
I missed.
what are you talking about?
Let's do it again.
Did you not hear the person asking if we were okay? They were like right behind us, I swear.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna send another message to that same guy.
Are you using message or are you still using your?
I'm still using mine bullets.
Okay. What are you saying?
Oh my god.
I think you've soiled yourself.
What the? I did
Oh
not.
my God.
I did not. And what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's get out of here. I'm not okay with this. And you kind of hear like he kind of like what? Slow down. Hey. It's like they begin hurrying down the street.
Actually, this is where he runs to the bathroom and he runs into Sam in there with her sex mask.
You have soiled yourself.
We've hit
Bad
the
boy.
inevitable point in every D&D campaign where it turns into sex and seducing things. We don't even have a bard anymore.
No, it's amazing how that's working.
Incredible.
Warlock. I think warlocks, bards, and barbarians are kind of the three
Sure.
troublemakers,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So
Is there anyone else I can
classic.
F with mine bullets around?
do what?
Is there anyone else I can F with mine bullets
I mean,
around?
you can shoot them around all you want. Eventually, somebody's probably gonna notice. But yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna
I
leave.
mean, how are they gonna notice? I'm just
Go to bed.
sitting. I'm minding my business.
okay. So you said you're heading up to bed, Mercy.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna pat her head and say, good luck with that. And I just go up to bed.
Asleep?
Okay.
Don't you want to make sure Ness is okay?
He's fine. He lives here.
He was very.
He knows where to come.
He was very adamant in saying that he wasn't doing anything dangerous. He was gonna be okay. And I trust him.
I mean,
Okay.
it's been a few hours. It's getting pretty late in the evening. So if he's coming, it'll probably be after midnight at this point. Is what you gather so far.
So I'm heading up to bed, and I lay down, but I don't take off my sword. Like I keep it as close as I can with the
Mhm.
idea that maybe it helps channel the visions better, the dreams or something.
Okay.
And I'm cognizant. And if there's any way to be like lucid and cognizant, like through those dreams, to lucid
Okay.
dream, so I can pay attention. I try and attempt that. I don't know. I need some sort of focus.
Okay.
But I go to sleep.
All right. The other two of you? Sleep? Okay. Bate?
I'm gonna hang out for another hour or so.
Okay.
Just
You-
see if Ness rolls in.
Okay. You wait. He does not appear to show up.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Okay. You make your way to sleep.
Was a noble effort.
It was. It was very, very kind of you. But whatever he had, it seemed like it was important, so we'll get to it later.
Hope
Um,
he's not dead.
Hope not. Yeah, sorry guys. It turns out Rain's also leaving.
Fuck you, dude.
By the way-
I lost my mind as you said that. That's not funny.
No, that's not what's
Mine
happening.
bullets. I'm out.
All right, so you
Send
guys.
a mine bullet to the dungeon master. I quit.
Nah, I'm still here. You can't
still
get rid
here.
of me that easy.
Yeah. So
Like that.
Mercy,
Mhm.
as you kind of curl up and fall asleep into kind of an uneasy slumber, clutching your sword, the dreams you had before start to become clearer and clearer. and you see the face of a man. You don't quite recognize him, but you know this is the guy. You don't remember when or where or if you've ever seen him. But you get a clear picture that he's the guy. He's the guy. He has to die. And as you sit there staring at this face, thinking about how to kill him, you hear a voice. Yes. Yes, kill him. Take our vengeance. And as this voice is behind you, slowly, you kind of feel it rotate in front of you until it's in front of you face to face. It says, I sense something is wrong. Do you not like my gift? He's talking to you, Mercy.
Can I can respond? Okay.
Yeah.
Your gift. The gift being the sword?
Yes, you seem to be rather clumsy with it.
Clumsy?
Is there a form you would prefer? I cannot have you attempting to fumble your way through my vengeance.
A rapier.
That is easy enough. You must get vengeance, but you are not ready. You must kill more so that we can grow stronger together.
Kill more what?
At this point, you kind of like are jerked awake as you look around, swearing you heard the voice in your room rather than in your dream. And as you look down at the sword you were clutching before, it is now changed into a rapier. It still seems to be adorned like a very beautiful blade, but the form has changed.
Dun, dun, dun!
Makes you a little uneasy, but you don't know what you can do about it right now. Meanwhile,
I don't know what to do.
Meanwhile, Dragathiel, in your dreams, they start out pretty happy, fairly normal. You don't normally remember dreams a lot of the times as you're walking through a field of grass with blades that are blue. You hear a voice call to you from beyond where you can see. It says, my child, come to me.
Is it a woman's voice or a man?
It's a woman's voice. It appears to be...
So that makes a difference.
Yeah, it seems to be calling from a great distance, but...
Hello?
Dragathiel, it has been too many years, my daughter.
Maeve?
At this point, you kind of wake up and look around. You don't know what that was, but...
And was it like different from my normal visions and stuff?
It appeared to be. It gave you a similar feeling to when you get the pull acting on you.
Oh, okay.
Except it felt slightly different. You're not sure why or how, but it did feel different. So, oops, closed that. Didn't mean to do that. No, I closed my Zoom. Back to its meeting. There we go. Oops. Got it.
Meanwhile, I'm in bed.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll pick up with Ness next time.
Woo!
But we're gonna close out the evening for tonight. So, thank you guys so much for playing. That was a lot of fun getting everything going for the next arc of your adventure. There's a whole lot of big things to come, and I'm really excited. We planted a lot of seeds tonight. We'll have to see how many of them bloom. So, with that in mind, I just want to say thank you. Let me double check my feed real quick, see if there's anybody say probably more people I need to say thanks to. Thank you for the bits, Gabby. Thank you for those bits. Oh, Indalia, thank you for the resubscription. Disciple Dashni, thank you for the follow. So guys, thank you so much. Oh, and Ty, thank you for resubscribing. So we'll be back. We'll be resuming our normal schedule on Thursday next week. There's also our Monday night games, and I think after maybe Rain, if you got time after this, we got to talk about one shots and things. Because we're gonna be doing.
I don't have a ton of time.
Yeah, no worries. I know. But we're going to be doing more one-shots. I'm going to be running some more. Hunter's going to be running some, and hopefully Rain. And hopefully I can get some of these other people involved who've never run a game before, because it'll be fun to see. But yeah, we've got our Monday night game, got our Thursday night game. I've got some fun giveaways and things coming up real soon, I hope. Also, our art is looking amazing. Star Grenade's doing a fantastic job. I actually messaged her during our campaign so that I can fill in those black circles for you guys. I was like, could you maybe go ahead and... I was like, I hate to, like... leapfrog what's going on right now, but could we go and get sketches done for the other stuff so we can upgrade our art for tonight's campaign? Because for the other campaign, I'll already have that done. So I'm excited for the new art. It's going to look beautiful. It already does. The existing stuff, it looks amazing. If you don't follow her, I actually put a link in like my attribution stuff below for Star Grenade. She's amazing. I've got her Instagram stuff down there. I'll link the rest of her stuff later, but she's amazing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for playing.